All right. Looks like we are live. What is good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. Today we got a great show for you guys, man. I'm super excited to talk about a variety of different video games, pre-order stuff. It gets the plot thickens. More and more information on pre-orders. More and more information, potential information on pre-orders. More information. We got to talk about the Shuhei Yoshida stuff. We got to talk about that. And I have now figured out that, listen, there are legitimate complaints with Nintendo Switch 2 and pricing and stuff. But it's legitimately disingenuous by many people. I think Twitter has... I just wanted to wait to see some examples of people shooting themselves in the foot that are haters on the Switch 2, which, by the way, they're allowed to. I follow a lot of these people. It's no big deal. But I know now it's disingenuous. That it's not about value. It's not about actual monetary value in terms of value for what you're getting. It's simply because they don't like Nintendo. Or I don't like... It's, like I said, there is legitimate concerns from actual fans of the products. And then there's just people talking because they like another favorite piece of plastic or their PC. And today's arguments and today's discussions will absolutely confirm that 100%. It will confirm that there are people that legitimately do not care. And a lot of the backlash is from people who don't care and who don't like Nintendo games. And they're just doing it just to get likes, views, attention online, and to prop up what they like most because they just have that in them. It's like a nature of a gamer, right? To say my piece of game is better than yours. This confirms it. I'm gonna go over the stuff that we went through. Like I said, no name drops or nothing, but just discussions. Like I said, no hate towards any people that said stuff like this, but it's what I suspected. But now we have confirmation. Now we have confirmation of that. So yeah. But let's get into it. Let's get into the shoutouts first, and then we're gonna get into Shuhei Yoshida, what he had to say, because I don't actually think he plays Nintendo games or his Nintendo Switch or the previous. I don't think he actually plays them. I think he knows about them because it's his business to know about them, or it was his business. But I don't think he actually plays the games too much and knows what Nintendo's about. I think he saw it from a competitive standpoint. Oh, this is what they're doing, and it's different from us, but I don't think he actually knows what makes Nintendo, which is okay. You can be an executive or rich and not know what the hell you're talking about when it comes to something. It happens all the time. It's very common for people to be out of touch with what they're talking about, or just lack that knowledge, or simply go off of assumptions based off of their own personal viewpoint, which is okay. But that doesn't mean it's right, and that doesn't mean we can't disagree. He's entitled to his opinion, though, but we're going to talk about that, too. All right, let's get into the shout-outs, though. My man Dior is here. What's up, Dior? Here, like always, baby. David V is here. Brand Smith is here. Egomaniac 87. Partyman Cart World. Jeffrey Tucker is here. 777 OG. No, that's the wrong 777. Triple X 2600. What's up, Triple X? Christopher Lenton. Happy Tuesday. 777 OG Double OG. That's the right one. Circus Brains. What's good? Kenyatta Ali. What's up, Kenyatta? Nakat, what's up, man? Yes, pre-orders. We're gonna get into pre-orders. Essentially, it looks like we might have a date on April 21st. Let me just give you guys a little bit to whet your appetite. April 21st seems to be the day, but there's gonna be more information potentially on April 17th. So look out for that Mario Kart World Nintendo Direct that's going down. But I do have a bit more to add, but that's just the base information. So if you need to go or whatever the case is, those that maybe need to take off can take off, or if you want to stay and get the rest of it, I'll be more than happy to facilitate that once we get through shoutouts and everything. General Zamora, what's good? Welcome. CBH, what's good? Welcome. Fladius, what is up, man? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate that. Chrono Rig says, I just want to say Players is losing his identity. I'm losing my identity. As soon as I'm going to shave my beard, and then I'll lose my identity. If I shave my beard, I'll lose my identity. Switch 2 definitely has the most haters out any console ever released. I mean, well, it's not released yet. But I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to balance. I don't know if there's more haters than there were before in 2017. I just think that social media, the per capita or the amount of people using social media is significantly more now than it was then. But the per ratio of haters is like similar. You know, but once again, there's nothing wrong with legitimate criticism. I want to make sure that I separate that. There is legitimate criticism, but what I'm going to talk about today just shows that it's not legitimate, that a lot of it is not legitimate from the people that are consistently being negative on the device. It's not legitimate from some of these people. Let's see here. Danks is Yoshida's mad respect, but folks running with this narrative is stupid. Nintendo, damn, you do damn if you don't. Be original, then criticize the hardware, follow up on success, identity crisis. Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. It's tough, but at the same time, it's not like correct. Like it's not correct what he said. Like there's no way. I've been playing Nintendo since the beginning. I've been playing since the original NES. I've seen every transition. I've seen the commercials. I remember the advertising. I remember the articles on IGN or on, you know, Nintendo Power or Game Informer or the old magazines. Like you guys know I have a good memory. Okay, I remember my childhood. I remember my young adulthood. Like I remember my childhood. I remember like my early like baby-ish days. Like I can remember when I was like 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a really good memory at times, like with certain things, especially with things that I'm passionate about. Not everything, but with gaming and stuff, I have a very sharp memory. So I can remember things like when I'm 2, when I'm 3, when I'm 4, when I'm 5, 6. So I remember every single generation Nintendo's done since the NES. I would just remember it. I just remember what was on commercials, what's on TV, I just remember all of that. And to sit there and say, let's just, like I said, before we get back to the pre-order stuff, to sit there and say that, oh, they've never done this. They were always about gimmicks and they never done iterative systems. And it was always about something that's just categorically false. That's categorically false. It's just not true. It's just not true. And like I said, maybe if you want to take it from the Wii era and up, Wii to Wii U, and that's what you want to go off of, sure. But if you want to go off of their whole history, absolutely not. Let me give you guys an example of this before we get into pre-order stuff. Let me give you guys a little example. We'll circle back around to this. When I was younger, the NES was seen as, it's the family computer system. Everybody can play it, right? This is a concept that they had with the Wii. So it's not like the Wii wasn't even a whole brand new concept. It was just the original NES concept exploded to the population growth that we've had. There's way more people in 2005, 2006 than there was in 1986, right? There's just way more people on this planet, okay? So essentially that Blue Ocean strategy was the same strategy that they had in the NES era. Get as many people playing the game as possible, make it family friendly. Anybody can play, but so can core gamers. That's what they had in the NES. The NES to the Super NES was literally take the NES and make it better. That was the concept. Take the NES and make it better. We need more graphics, we need more power, we need more buttons to facilitate different types of control methods or different types of ways to play than what we didn't have before. So they added shoulder buttons, they added 2 face buttons, and they said, hey, here you go, you know, shoulder buttons, face buttons, oh, and more graphics. And their games even represented that. If you look at one of the first commercials for Super Mario World, more colors, more levels, more this, more that, and it's just flashing different types of like parts, showing off the graphics and the capabilities. They're saying it's double, it's better. Literally, the Super NES was just an NES, but better. That's what it was. Multi-tap play, families can play, family-friendly games, hardcore games. It was literally the same thing. So when people tell me they've never made an iterative system, it's always been just gimmicks or something, that's false. Categorically false. I'm not even saying that's your opinion. It's just false. It's just not true. I was there in the 80s to the 90s, from the NES to the Super NES, and that was literally what they advertised was, this is more powerful. Go buy it. It's super. It's super. See that? It's super. That makes it better. Super. You know, like, it was even with the 64. It's 64. 64 is bigger than 16. Hey, remember 16 bits? Remember the Bit Wars? Bits? This has 64 bits. It has way more. It has way more graphics. It has way more capabilities. Look, 3D, you can run around. Like, they literally advertised iterative systems with bigger power to make the games better all the time. Once again, if you go from the Wii era and up, sure, but not even 100%, because the Nintendo DS to 3DS was literally, this is a Nintendo DS, but 3D. Oh, but not for kids. It might jack up your eyes. You know what? Actually, we don't need 3D at all. It's a better 3DS. It's got more horsepower, all right? And there's little eShop games in Virtual Console, right? It was literally just a more powerful DS. They've done this N64 to GameCube. More powerful. N64 was a ghetto GameCube. GameCube was just the perfect realization of the N64. Fixing the frame rates, adding more power, same concept, local multiplayer rules all, family fun, family Mario Kart, Zelda, the same type of franchises and games. They got some other stuff. Obviously GameCube got way more, but to sit there and advertise and act like Nintendo has not made iterative systems with more power, and that wasn't part of their identity, which, by the way, if you go back and you look at Takahashi, was it Takahashi? Yeah, Takahashi. Takahashi's original talk about the Switch. The Switch encompassed everything that they made. It wasn't just the Wii U. It was literally everything that they've done. Handhelds and home consoles, both. They put them all together and made something. You know, so listen, I get Shuhei Yoshida is a big executive and he's been in the industry for a long time, but dude, he doesn't know more about Nintendo than me. I don't give a damn how many years he's worked in the industry. He does not know more about it than I know. And like I said, I'm not trying to say that I'm better than him, but his take on this is off. It's just not true. It's just not true. Another problem is that Nintendo's identity is intertwined with their games. It's intertwined with their games. Their games are the most important thing. Look at the games from a first-party standpoint that are releasing this year. Mario Kart, 1990s, 1992. Kirby, 1992 or 91, 92. Metroid Prime, 1986. Donkey Kong, 1981. Like, what are we talking about here? We also have Zelda, right? Zelda, 1986 for Zelda. If you're talking about Hyrule Warriors, or if you're talking about Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Their identity, literally, they have 40-year-old IPs that are still relevant in today's day. 40-year-old IPs. Talk about they're losing their identity. What are you talking about? They're selling the system on IPs that are 40 years old. Everyone's gonna buy Mario Kart World, and the IP's 30-something years old at this point. What identity are you talking about? They've been selling Mario for decades. That's their identity. Mario's still here. Zelda's still here. Metroid's still here. Kirby's still here. That's their identity. Like I said, it's fine. He's an executive. He can say what he wants. He can have his opinion. But I'd be damned if I'm gonna sit there and listen like as if I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, you know? But hey, that's my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me get to you guys' opinions too. We'll swing around to pre-orders too, guys. So April 21st, pre-orders. Looks like that could be going. Jake Randall had a nice report on it. So April 21st, look out for pre-orders. This Thursday, I'm going to be streaming the Mario Kart World. It's my birthday day too. April 17th, birthday day. So hope you guys stop by. We're going to have two separate streams. We're going to have one stream early in the morning, at least early for me, at around maybe 4:30 a.m. We're going to go live. 4:35 a.m. We're going to go live for the Mario Kart World Nintendo Direct, and then we're gonna decompress after that, and then we're gonna take a break, and then I'll be back at 2 p.m. PT, 5 p.m. Eastern time for the big birthday stream. We're gonna have Party Man on for a talk. We're gonna have Paul Gill to go over his hands-on Nintendo Switch 2 impressions, and we're gonna have some giveaways and all sorts of fun stuff. So it should be a great stream, okay? So yeah, if anything, it's Sony that's losing their identity, because the Sony that I grew up playing is definitely not the same Sony that it is now. The Sony with Crash Bandicoot and with Sly Cooper and with Ratchet and Clank and all that, they've had multiple identity crises and changes throughout the years. At one point, it was all about, you know, third party, pretty much only third party. Then at one point they said, hey, look, we're going to do mascot games with Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, and Sly Cooper. Then at one point they said we're going to do all cinematic games. And then at one point they're saying we're going to do all live service games or big live service. Like, they've changed their identity a million times, you know? So yeah, it might be the other way around. But anyway, that's that. How dare you disrespect the great Yoshida? Listen, he didn't really provide any information for me to actually hear what, like, I'm a factual guy. I'm not a feelings guy, okay? When it comes to this type of stuff, I'm not a feelings guy. I'm a factual guy. So that's fine. If you feel a certain way, you've got to explain it. Not I feel this way because I feel this way. You got to explain it. So you got to tell me why I'm wrong on NES to Super Nintendo. Tell me why I'm wrong on N64 to GameCube. Tell me why I'm wrong on Game Boy to Game Boy Color, from Game Boy Color to Game Boy Advance. Tell me why I'm wrong from DS to 3DS. Explain to me why I'm wrong, and then I'll change my opinion. But if you can't explain, or you just say it's my opinion, then I'm going to be like, okay, well, your opinion's your opinion, but it's not really actually objective in terms of facts, or you don't want to bring up anything that's factual. You just want to go off the Wii and the Wii U. Okay, 2 systems. I just gave you 8 systems, or 4 systems that transitioned into the next system. Actually, more than 4. I mean, Game Boy to Game Boy Color, yeah, actually, like, yeah, more than that. So yeah, I need facts. I don't need your feelings. And that's fine. You're allowed to have your feelings and your opinions. You're allowed to have those. But if you're talking about a debate in terms of, like, if somebody disagrees with you, I need to hear an actual, like, evidence. It's not just, well, I feel this way. Okay, that's fine. I feel like I can fly. That doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, some people feel like they're R. Kelly out there. I believe I can fly. Good for you. That's fine. Or maybe you believe the earth is flat. Good for you. Where's the evidence? You don't have much, do you? Because if you go into space and you shoot a picture, it's clearly round. It's the earth is clearly round, but there are a billion people who think that the earth is flat. Okay, well, give me some evidence. I just think I'm walking and it's straight across. Like, no, go up to space, take a picture and see if it's flat or not. Then let me know. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, then sit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need actual facts with some of this stuff. So you can have an opinion. Your opinion's fine. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and eat it up because it's just your opinion. Anybody can have an opinion about anything, you know? Let's see here. Mr. Deported Sicilian with the $5 holla. And he says, you should tweet Mr. Yoshida. You know more about Nintendo than him. Then ask him if he's really Japanese. Okay, I'm definitely not going to disrespect Mr. Yoshida like that. I respect Mr. Yoshida. I respect his knowledge when it comes to gaming, you know, but he's off base on that one. Zoo with the $10 dono.
Clear that the Furukawa Nintendo is different than the Iwata Nintendo, which was different than the Yamauchi Nintendo. Not really sure what's controversial, but coming from Sony that changed everything after Microsoft successfully disrupted them is funny.
Yeah, Zoo. You know, and it's interesting. Once again, he doesn't work for Sony anymore either. You know, he doesn't work for Sony anymore, so he's allowed to give his opinion. Like, his opinion, he's allowed to have it. He's allowed to have it, you know, but at the same time, I do think that it's off base on the Switch too, because he's erased their history, you know, and he's going off of Wii and Wii U, which, by the way, Furukawa wasn't even the president for them. And on top of that, the system's launching the 2 big first-party games in the first month or 2 is Mario Kart and Donkey Kong. How is that not purely Nintendo? That is literally Nintendo. Now, if they made a bunch of new IPs, like, let's say, I don't know, Uncharted, or let's just say something called Resistance, right? In the PS3 era, where they literally were trying to change their identity, then I can say, okay, yeah, I can see Nintendo's trying to change their identity a bit. They're launching with different IPs, like new IPs that weren't on the PS2. Usually, that's a risky proposition, right? For your first big games to be brand new IPs, but you do that when you want to change who you are or what's going on with you. Nintendo's not trying to change that too much because they're launching literally with IPs all that are literally, they're all older than 1993. There's not a single IP coming from them this year, big IP. They have Welcome Tour and they have the Drag Cross Drive, but there's not a single big game that's coming from them this year that we know about at this point that's not from 1992 or below. They have the identity that they have, you know what I'm saying? Deported Sicilian with the $2 says, no one has been to space, OJ. Space Jam isn't real. Okay, that's true. But you know what is real? This overclock with 15 minutes. Let's go. Shout outs, guys.
Overclock Buster!
Let's go. Thank you. I appreciate that. Big love. Shout outs. I can see your comments, Mr. Davis. What's good? Welcome. Shout outs to Zoo with the JoJo. You have the whole Kage and Stream Ninja. Anybody does $10 or more, you can beat up my man Zoo on the board, and I agree with what you're saying. Life will change with the 24 months with the Pure Eye. Hey, shout outs to Pure Eye. Let's go. So yeah, you know what they say, the value is in the eyes of the beholder, but for these YouTubers despite Nintendo, apparently that's not the case. Yeah, apparently. Oh yeah, Flat Earther can just spend $1,000 on a rocket and camera and shoot into the sky and see a curvature right quick. Well, I mean, if they want to just believe it, I mean, like I said, there ain't no way to actually prove that. Go inside, because like they don't trust the stuff that's actually out there. Like we've got actual pictures. They don't trust that, so then you go do it. You know what I'm saying? You go do it. Anybody with an ounce of intelligence has said it's round. Okay, well, go do a GoFundMe for flat earthers. Trust me, they've got money to burn. Go collect it and go ask Elon Musk and go in there and see for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you can think about how famous you can get if you can prove that it's flat. Like, think about how much money you can make. Think about how it'll be worth it. It'll be totally worth it if you're that convinced that it's flat. You know, be totally worth it. I would do it if I was that stupid. If I was that dumb to think that, sure, I would definitely think, you know what? Sure, let me put the funds together. Let me go into space. Let me take. It's definitely gonna just be a flat plane. You know. Let's see here. Zoo with another $5.
Just checked the article, and he is putting it in a negative context. Yeah, that's not correct, and I see what you are saying now. Again, Sony had zero room to talk. Everything that people used to love about them has been obliterated. Nintendo endures.
Yes. So he put it in a negative light, but he also said positive things too. Like, it's not like it was all negative. It was some positive things, but I don't actually think he knows what Nintendo's identity is. I think he sees Nintendo's identity. I think he sees Nintendo's identity as a competition in terms of compared to what they were doing, which what they were doing was just iterating on the same system. And I think he sees it that type of way and not within the games. But that's just my opinion on that, you know? What game am I buying for Switch 2? Game or games? Multiple games. You don't like Astrobot? When did I say I don't like Astrobot? I have not uttered that word once today. So I'm not sure why you're asking me that. Green Ninja. Shout outs to Zoo with another $5. Now at 15, anybody that's 15 or more, you can beat up my man Zoo at the top of the board. Let's go. Shout outs to Zoo. So yeah. Just gonna wait. Man, that Nintendo email might become too late. My stream is crashing. Okay. Let me see. My stream is crashing. Is my stream crashing? I don't see anything here that says my stream is crashing. Is that correct? My YouTube says my stream is good. So I don't know. Aries EMS, I'm not sure what's going on. I was asking it as a question. How is that a question? Wait, do you frame Green Ninja? Let's do a little English lesson. That is not the correct way to frame a question. That is insinuating something. Let me tell you something. Do not ask questions that way. Honestly, I'm gonna help you in your life, especially for work and things like that. Like if you're going to work or if you're at work, don't assume or insinuate something when you ask a question. You can frame it this way instead. Hey, OJ, do you like Astrobot? Not, you don't like Astrobot? Because you're already insinuating that somebody said something or did something that says otherwise. So maybe English isn't your first language. But yeah, I would frame it in the way of, do you like Astrobot? If they never said anything that has anything to do with that, then frame it that way. You know? So yeah. So it's careful, the Sony fan was you defend Doug Bowser's just by Switch 1 code. You're saying having double standards. What double standards? I watched the whole thing. I personally just disagree with what he had to say. So there's no double standard. Let's see. All good, man. Looks like it was on my end. My bad. Hey, no problem, Aries EMS. Shout outs. Let's see. Everyone stream buffered for a bit, but it seems to be good now. Yeah, I didn't get anything on my YouTube end. Usually, if something happens on my YouTube end, it'll tell me like my stream health. It'll give me status reports. So I didn't get any status report. And I know if it messes up on my end on here, like sometimes it doesn't actually report it, but on YouTube, it'll always report it. So it looks like it was just basically YouTube, you know, being YouTube. But YouTube is crazy because YouTube does not cap bit rate and all that. Like you can stream in 10 million bits. You know, you can have the highest quality. If your internet connection can hold up, you can, and they don't care. Like anybody can have access. If you're a YouTube partner, you can have access to it. So people here are streaming at crazy high levels, whereas on Twitch, they cap it to help stability of the site and stability of the streams, you know? Whereas YouTube, they're just like, you can stream at whatever bit rate you want. You want to stream at 4K? Go ahead. Twitch is like, no, 6,000, you know? So, yeah. So, okay, so what are your thoughts on Astrobot? Okay, my thoughts on Astrobot, it's a good game. It's a good game. Let's see here. Getting harder lately to say hello to you. Hey, what's up, casual noob? Welcome to the stream. You're good, man. Super Christian Meworld with the $3 dono coming through. What's up, Super Christian Meworld? Welcome.
Dear Mr. Shuhei Yoshida, Nintendo has not lost their brand identity.
No.
It's actually evolving.
Okay.
Is your brand identity evolving? Where's Crash and Spyro? Both moved to Nintendo. Patapon is next. Also, why is Horizon on Switch? Lego version or not?
Well, there's reasons for all that. But yes, Spyro and Crash were part of the big identity with PS1. I mean, really, the identity of PS1 was everything. It was, you can play, you know, cinematic experiences like Metal Gear Solid, which was insane, but then you can also play pretty family-friendly platformers and, you know, like Spyro and Crash and stuff like that. Plus, you can play, you know, racing games, and you can play RPGs like Final Fantasy, like mature, and it was kind of a bit of everything. That's why PS1 was so incredible, and that's why it was the first system ever to break 100 million units sold, because it was just a breath of fresh air. It was a very unique and interesting system at the time that it came out. I remember PS1 like yesterday. I remember just like it started out slow. People didn't really know about it or care about it, but then really here in the US, Final Fantasy came out, and that's when everyone had their eyes. So it took about a good 2 to 3 years before people really started paying attention to the PS1, which is even crazier because it sold 100 million units, and it's not like the sales were incredible at the beginning. It didn't just like shoot out the gate. It really wasn't until like Final Fantasy 7. And like Metal Gear, Final Fantasy 7. That's what, and you know, that's what exploded the PS1 to where we see the sales that it ended up being. So it in that respect, it makes it pretty impressive. But it also sold for well after the PS2 was out too. So
it's all evolving from PC to Nintendo into an anti-consumer direction. And it's gamers' fault. More on that in a future vid.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of this stuff is, but I would argue that it was a gradual thing that was inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was going to happen regardless. Just like this Noah overclock is going to happen at 30 minutes. Hey, yo!
Overclock Buster!
Shout outs, man. Thank you so much. Mr. Zoo with another $5. Leading the Hokage Stream Ninja board right now with the 20. Anybody does 20 or more, you can beat up my man Zoo on the board. Hey, yo, let's go. Let's get those combo breaks up. We're at 30 minutes extended on stream. Let's get it. Not sure why people stream at a high bit rate. YouTube compresses the hell out of it. That's true. But you can get a clean image, though. A cleaner image of the high. I mean, YouTube's going to compress it regardless, you know? So, but yeah, I wouldn't stream at a super high bit rate. Astrobot is the best PlayStation game ever. It's actually a game that glorifies soap opera, Uncharted, God of War. Best PlayStation game ever? Like Sony first party game? My favorite Sony first party game is probably God of War 2. I think God of War 2 is probably my favorite Sony first party game. So, you know, I'd give it to God of War 2. I would not give it to Astrobot. But yeah, I mean, I can see why Astrobot might be somebody's favorite first party game. But yeah, mine is probably God of War 2 on the PS2. If I had to really like think, like, yeah, it's probably my favorite one. I do Twitch, but my multi-stream is broken, so I gotta find a new multi-streaming service so I can get back on Twitch. So yeah. But it is what it is. The business are large with employees, they have to pay and live benefits at age. It's not cheap, man. It really isn't cheap. It really isn't. Everything's getting more expensive. That's why we're seeing price hikes. That's why we're seeing higher prices, because everything in terms of the biggest, you know, expense is payroll. Payroll will always be the biggest expense. It's always been the biggest expense, you know, for most companies, especially tech companies, highly skilled tech companies. Payroll is always going to be the biggest expense. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing salaries go up. We're seeing more people be needed for big games. So you're going to see the prices go up. I am actually incredibly interested in seeing what the PS6 will cost. I don't think it's a shade under $600. I think that if we got a PS6 at $600, that would be a miracle, because the PS5 Pro is $700, so USD. So if we somehow got something at $600, I don't know how they would do it, but if we somehow got that at $600, that would be wild. But you know, I'm guessing $700 to $800. It's going to be $700 and $800. Maybe 2 configurations, $700 and $800, or just one for like $750 to $800. You know, so yeah. No way. Yeah, I know. That's why I said it'd be a miracle. I said it'd be a miracle if it was 600 to 700. A miracle. Favorite arcade racing game from back in the day? Does Off-Road count? I'd probably say like Off-Road on the NES. Super Off-Road. Those games were awesome. I had like countless hours of playing those with my brother and my sisters back in the day. Infamous is really good too. I'd probably say Infamous 1 is one of my favorite PlayStation games as well. Hit that like button though, guys. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Appreciate it. I know it's a weird question. Let's throw out the bias and all the misinfo. Do you think having Switch 2 underperform will be beneficial for Nintendo, especially gamers as a whole? Nothing's ever beneficial for a system to underperform. Like, there's nothing that benefits underperforming, because you get less content. Wii U underperformed, we got less games. So there's nothing that's beneficial for everyone when a main system underperforms. It brings less money into the industry. It brings less jobs. It's not good for anybody, and that it doesn't matter who it is. So underperforming is not a good thing. But knowing Nintendo underperforming, I'm not sure if it'll change really too much from what they're doing, and I don't even know what the bar of underperforming is. The Switch set such a high bar that's probably not going to be matched. I think that basically looking at their sales reports is going to be telling. How much money are they making? What's revenue coming in, profit coming in? Like, that will probably be more telling than anything, because everything's going to be more expensive. Games are more expensive, so revenue's going to be up. Revenue's going to be good. I mean, getting $10 more per game, you average that out over 3 million games or 4 million games, you're making significantly more money than you made before, So that's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, you've got like the first year at least, right? You've got significantly more third-party support. So from a royalty perspective, we're getting kind of technical, businessy mumbo jumbo now. But from a business perspective, the amount of games, I think Beat 'em Ups had a video, 70 games already announced. That clears the Nintendo Switch 1 by a large margin in terms of what they announced at their first event. And from a royalty standpoint, Nintendo's set to make significantly more money than they made in the first calendar year of the Switch 1, because the first calendar year of the Switch 1, there were no games. So you can't make money if there are no games. Like, you can make money off the system, but you're not making your money off the system. Even if you sell your system at a profit, you're not making a ton of money off your system. Maybe Nintendo's making what, a couple bucks? Maybe they're making $10, $20. They're not making much off the Switch 1. They're not making much, maybe even potentially a slight loss on the Switch 2. Where you really make your money is software and services. Software, services, DLC, microtransactions. That's where you really make your money. So Nintendo Switch 1, it was making money, but it wasn't like it was insane, because there just wasn't enough games. Now, once the library built up and they're able to actually build a catalog of games, yeah, the money came rolling in. But that first calendar year, there wasn't a ton. Games were pretty sparse overall. I mean, they had consistent flow of first-party games for sure, but the third party was just not there. With the Switch 2, the third party's there from day one, and there's a consistent flow. Actually, games being announced, Switch 2 versions being announced daily almost, between independent developers and third-party developers. So, for example, in my video that I did today, Ease 10 Nordics literally was announced for Switch 2 first, before it was announced. Ease 10 Nordics are Proud Nordics. Before other systems, we also had Inazuma 11. They dropped the iOS and Android version and added an Xbox Series and Nintendo Switch 2 version. So that right there, that's going to bring in more royalties, more money, than maybe what Switch 1 did in the first year. But we're going to have to wait and see overall. So yeah. Am I buying Cyberpunk? I'll probably buy Cyberpunk for the culture. Unfortunately, that's what some people are saying. They want Switch 2 to repeat the same fate as the 3DS, where it had terrible launch and then price drop. Shaking my head, not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen because 3DS didn't launch with Mario Kart. If 3DS launched with Mario Kart in that first month, or that launched with Mario Kart 7 and then had Super Mario 3D Land the next month, I don't think the 3DS would have got a price cut. I think the system would have sold significantly better, and I think they would have cut the price the following year. I think it would have done a lot better. They would have cut the price the following year, and then it would have probably sold about the same that it sold, and that it ended up selling, because they had almost no third-party support, like no actual major developers making anything interesting. They all moved over to mobile. So, and they were splitting games with the Wii U as well. So yeah, I think it would have still had the same fate, but it wouldn't have been the same thing. We would have essentially just not got our ambassador games. I think it would have done a lot better. The Switch 2 is launching with Mario. It's launching with Zelda. It's launching with a ton of third-party games, Street Fighter and Split Fiction and Hitman, and Cyberpunk, and it's just launching like with a bunch of cool games and stuff. Like Bravely Default's going to be there. So there's going to be plenty to play. And within the next, like, even that month, you also have like Ride Owls launching. You know, you have a bunch of games that are coming out, and there's going to be a lot more announced. Like I said, there's even 2 more that was announced today. More developers are just announcing their games. So we're going to see a lot more games being announced for the Switch 2. Pretty much every week, you'll probably get at least an independent game. At the bare minimum, 1 independent game or so announced. You know. So yeah. Let's see. If a system costs $400 to make, then some reports that absolutely not making money off it since they ship. Yeah, exactly. If the report is correct about Switch 2 costing $400 to manufacture, then they're actually not making any money off the system. It's either a slight loss or it's pretty much even, because you got to pack and ship and do all that stuff, and that takes money. And $50 doesn't cover that. It takes a lot more than $50 to ship, to industrially ship a million systems or 500,000 systems or whatever, right? Like and then you got to talk about security, you got to talk about logistics, you got to talk about you know, there's just a million different things that you have to go over, you know. Let's see. Imagine if fueling your Mario Kart is a microtransaction. Oh my gosh, that would definitely be the death of Nintendo right there if that was the case. Hit that like button though, guys. If you haven't hit that like button, we got 300 plus viewers. I would love to all of you guys to stick around for the whole show. It's going to be entertaining, I promise. So stick around, join in on the chat. If you're just someone that likes to lurk, join in. I think it makes it more fun when you do put your opinions. I might lay into it a little bit, but that's part of the fun. I don't ignore people here for the most part. Except for Deported Sicilian. I need Deported to donate. That's the only time I talk to him. If he doesn't donate, I ain't talking to him. No, I'm joking here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your support, man. It's been great. The views have been awesome. Obviously, more people coming through, so I appreciate that. But yeah, let's get into the disingenuous situation that I see. Now that I know, because I've seen so many people talk about, listen, I don't like the price of Mario Kart at 80. I know we keep on harping on this. This is dumb, whatever. We've been on this forever. But now that I know that it's disingenuous, and let me tell you the reason why I know that from some people, it's disingenuous. It's not about for the consumer or anything. It's just flat out disingenuous. I was in a conversation today on Twitter, and people are allowed to have their opinions. People are allowed to think value is whatever they want to think for value. But what I saw was Astrobot is worth $60 because for a platformer, it gives you 12 hours of gameplay. So that's worth it because you get 12 hours, and that's if you 100% the game. That's not if you just beat the game. If you just go through and beat the game without getting everything, you're probably looking at around maybe 4 hours, 5 maybe. It's not very long, okay? But Astrobot is worth $60 because for a platformer, that is an okay time. For 100%, by the way. So they are just, and this is after ripping into $70 games like Donkey Kong, ripping into $80 games for like Mario Kart, ripping into the games, just they're not worth the value. Nintendo's not putting out anything worth value. Zelda's not worth the value. None of these games are worth the value. Zelda, which is 100-something hours, not worth the value. But Astrobot, by the way, I like Astrobot, and I think it's fine. I think it's worth whatever you want to pay for it. I bought the game at 60. But now that I know that it's a bit disingenuous. Because how is, from a math standpoint, how is Astrobot worth $60 at 12 hours? But Mario Kart is probably going to give you significantly more time than that. Even if you didn't play it all the time, if you buy Mario Kart, you're probably going to put at least double the amount of time of Astro Bot, like 12 hours. You're probably, at the bare minimum, if you even don't like the game, you'll probably put at least 20 hours into that game, maybe more. Most people probably have more than 20 hours of Mario Kart. But you're probably, if you like Mario Kart, you're probably going to put, we're just going on the hypothetical that you like the game, you're probably going to put at least 50 to 100 hours into that game. So how is that not worth 80 at all? And if that was the case, even if you want to remove Mario Kart, right? And I'm talking in the sense of saying that Astro Bot is worth 60, right? I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying hypothetically, if we're going into of these people that have been harping on price, how the heck? So then Super Mario Odyssey should be literally $180, because in Super Mario Odyssey for 100%, you're looking at maybe 60 hours. So you're looking at, what is that, triple the time? Almost quadruple. 12 hours to 60 hours. Okay? And we said 18. I said 18 hours. 18 hours is even generous on Twitter. So we'll give it 18 hours for Astro Bot, but that's insanely generous. Mario Odyssey is triple the length, and it has way more moves and way more content and way more value overall, just way more. Or even Crash 4. Crash 4 has way more value. That's about 90-something hours for 100% in that game. Plus, it's difficult as all hell. So this is why I'm saying that this pricing is disingenuous from a lot of people. Because they are justifying Astro Bot being at 60 for that amount because of my graphics. When the graphics, they're okay, but it's not like it's top of the line, top end. It's just really nice art style and clean resolution. But the graphics are not super high end, top of the line. You know what I'm saying? Graphics. The graphics look good. It looks clean. But it is not the most in-depth graphics game on the PS5. Not even close. You know? So, like, Horizon, obviously, way more graphically intense, right? This is made by, like, 60 people. Astro Bot's not this massive game. So, this is why I say I am no longer taking what some of these people are saying as serious with pricing. Because they justified a 12-hour game, maybe 18, for $60. But all hell broke loose with Mario Kart, which is probably going to get you way more than 12 to 18 hours. Or even Legend of Zelda, that's going to get you significantly more hours. The Switch 2 version, even if you bought it at 90, which it's not. But even if you wanted to do it that way, if you want to be stubborn and buy it through the Switch 2 route, that's fine. Zelda's like a 100-hour game. You're getting significantly more content, and if you do it that way, the pricing doesn't add up. Zelda should be way more expensive. Mario Kart should be way more expensive. So that's why I'm not taking some of these people seriously, because Astro Bot's okay at 60. And gamers have this thing in their brain. When they see a price, the game can be 2 hours long. It's 60, standard price. But if it's 70 or if it's more, it can offer you 10,000 hours. They'll be like, oh, that's not good value. Oh, I can get this game for $60. The game's 5 hours long, but still, it's cheaper. And that's why developers have been getting us with season passes, microtransactions, and all these other things, because they know when you guys see the price, even if it's not the full experience, you value that more than actually getting a game that is a bit more built in and getting that experience. So I think I can no longer take some people seriously on that front. Doesn't mean that they're not entitled to their opinion. You're allowed to have it. But factually, if it's justification for Astro Bot being $60 at 12 hours, Mario Kart is justified in their terms being 80, and Astro Bot actually shouldn't even be $60, because other big platformers that are also 60 give you considerably more content. So the point doesn't make sense at all. It's either Astro Bot is worth it at 12 hours for 60, or everything else like Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, probably DK Bonanza, everything else it needs to be priced higher, because that doesn't make any sense. So I saw that today and I was like, okay, I see how it is now. Now I understand what it is. It's not even about real actual value. It's not about that anymore. Now it's just about, I don't like Nintendo's games. So they're not, Nintendo's games aren't worth it, but Astrobot is. That's really what it comes down to, because that point made no sense to me. Zero. 0 cents whatsoever to justify $60 for 12 hours. You completely ruined your argument about any other game being 80. As long as the game gives you, it can give you double the time. So a 24-hour game from a platformer can be $80 and it would be worth it because you just justified Astrobot at 12 hours being worth it for 60. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? It doesn't make any sense at all. So I can no longer actually take some of those stuff in terms of pricing. I can listen to the opinion, but I can no longer take what some people are saying seriously, because that completely just ruined it right now. Now it's just, okay, it's just, you don't like Nintendo. That's it. That's all that I can think of, you know? And by the way, that's what I suspected. And today's conversation confirmed it. Today's conversations that I had confirmed it. It's not about consumers and being for the consumers and people getting ripped off. No, it's just about what you like or what you don't like. That's it. There is no actual, it's for consumers or they're fleecing people or this. No, it's just about what you like and what you don't like. That's it. That's it. Let's see. OJ, is it true that Switch is coming out April 30th? No, it's not coming out April 30th. There's rumors. There's a placeholder for a pre-order for April 30th, but the actual news is that the pre-orders could be coming on April 21st to 23rd, somewhere in that time frame. Why is it so hard for them to just say they don't like Nintendo? Exactly. They don't, because if you just say that, Blandrew, I don't know if you saw the conversation that I was having. Did you see that conversation on Twitter? Did you see that conversation? Like, I'm not going to argue anymore with it because now it's been exposed what the truth is. The truth is they just don't like them. It's not about value. It's just, well, I don't like them, so I'm going to argue against it, you know? That's it. That's all. It's not about value. If you're justifying Astrobot at 12 hours for $60, like I said, the graphics, if you gave me maybe, I don't know, like Horizon level graphics or something like that, or if it was way more in-depth, then okay, whatever. Maybe you can get away with just by playing the graphics card. But that's not the case with Astrobot, clearly. And definitely not the payroll case. A lot of these people don't realize that games and pricing, a lot of it is payroll. Like Astrobot's payroll was not the price of, like, Mario Odyssey had a way bigger team, way bigger development budget, way bigger team than Astrobot. So Nintendo spent more money making Mario Odyssey than they did making Astrobot, because once again, you just look at the team sizes. The biggest expense in game development is human resources, is people making the games, because you got to pay them. You got to pay them, you know, hey, we need 500 people working on this, or 400 people. Well, we got to pay them 80, 70, 80, 90, 100K per year, depending on where they are. Well, if you only have 60 people working on this, and you got to pay them 60, 70, 80, 90K, whatever, who has the bigger development budget? So this game took 3 years with 60 people at, let's just say, an average of 70K per salary, whereas this other game took maybe 5 years with 400 people with an average of the same salary. Which game costs more to make? Clearly the game that has, and they're both big budget games, or they're both high priority games or whatever, right? Obviously the game that has the way bigger team making it costs more to make. So it's just, like I said, it's disingenuous at this point. So I'm not really going to engage in any of it. Now that I know what the deal is, you know? Let's see here. You missed my I did miss your super chat. Sorry, I was ranting. Shout outs to Sicilian with another $2, and he says, I only donate to continue the vest streak. I need a Mario vest. That's what I need. I need a Nintendo Mario vest for the streak. Shout outs to you guys. Make sure you guys keep on hitting that like button. Let's go. So yeah. No, I'm not saying that you have to love Nintendo. I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying is that is not a logical argument to argue that Astrobot, since it's a platformer and that it's $12, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's $12 and it's a platformer, therefore it's valid. It's worth it. Okay, well then that means Mario Odyssey should be worth triple the amount. That means Mario Kart should probably be worth literally 10 times the amount, because you might get 1,000 hours out of Mario Kart, you know? So yeah. So yeah. You can be a real gamer and not play. You don't have to be a real gamer to play every system. You don't have to be. Real gamer is not defined by somebody who plays every single system. That's not what a definition. A real gamer can be somebody who just really loves video games and they play on their PC, or they just really love video games and they play on their Switch, or they really love video games and they play on their Game Boy Advance. I don't care. You can be a real gamer and play one system or play one type of game. It's based on how you like to play and how much you play. I think that really depends on real gamer or not. I don't really think it's tied to you have to own everything, because if you're poor, then you can't be a real gamer. No, I was poor and I was definitely a real gamer, and I was poor. You know, I was really poor when I was growing up. We did not have the money to play on everything, you know, and I would still define myself as a real gamer, even though I only played for the most part when I could. I only had a Super NES. I had to go to my friends' houses to play other stuff, but I didn't get to do that a lot. So I pretty much only played NES back in the day. I still felt like I was a real gamer. I only played NES, but there was other stuff. There was Sega, there was Atari, there was other things, but I couldn't play those. I couldn't afford it, you know? So yeah. But anyway, let's take some more comments here. Can't say I'm crazy about the 80, but after you're really looking back, you get it. You make good points. Well, no, here's the thing though, LC. I'm not trying to convince you guys that 80 is worth it. Remember, I was speaking in that context. I was speaking using that logic of them trying to justify. They've been bashing Nintendo's pricing for Mario Kart and all that. So if you use the same logic, I was only applying the same logic that they're applying. That's why I know that it's no longer, it's disingenuous, or it's just, I don't like, I don't just say I don't like Nintendo, and that's fine. You don't have to like them. I can understand. But before I actually was listening, I was listening and I was like, oh, okay, maybe they got some points, but really it's just they don't like them, you know?
OJ, I knew I was a real gamer after all.
A mobile phone gamer. Thank you for the $3 dono. I appreciate that. We're getting closer to that 45-minute extension. Hey, yo. Shout outs, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. We got what? 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more. Then we out here with the combo breaks. So I'm not trying to convince you that I don't like the $80 price tag, guys. I don't like the $80 price tag. What I'm saying is that it was never my logic that playtime hours equals value, equals value, but equals price tag. You can get a great experience that's incredible. That's 20 hours. That's better than an experience. That's worth it more than an experience. That's 40 hours. That's not quite as good. So I wasn't arguing that it's worth the 80 or anything. I was simply using that logic to prove that they're being disingenuous about this whole worth consumers and we want to know it's better. Like people are getting ripped off with Nintendo. No, by that same logic, Astrobot is a ripoff because they were justifying Astrobot being $60 at 12 hours. So like I said, with that same logic, Astrobot is either Astrobot is severely overpriced because they said 12 hours for a platformer, that's worth the 60. Haha. Okay. So within that logic, Mario Odyssey is literally triple the length. You know what I'm saying? Triple the length for 100%. We're talking about 100% playthroughs, okay? So I was simply using that same logic. So using that logic that they use obviously doesn't align with what they were trying to say. So it falls flat. The arguments fall flat there. And now I know that it's really just because they don't like it. Not that they have actual legitimate, like, okay, you know, like a point when it comes down to it. But no, they just don't like it, and that's fine. But I now know that. I now know that. It's not about being fair or not about being objective with that. Because saying that Astrobot is worth it at 60 and then trying to discredit Mario Kart or try to discredit other games that are clearly more, they give you more value, even from a platformer standpoint, that clearly tells me that, one, there's two things. One, you have no concept of value. No concept of value, because if you think 12 hours is worth 60, there are many other platformers that give you way more than 12 hours that are cheaper or $60. So you have no concept of value, or you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, it's one of those two options. There's no logical option to justify 12 hours at $60. There's no, unless somebody has one here. If all things are equal, remember, we're not talking about if you like PlayStation more than Nintendo. You like Astrobot, you like Mario, you like both of them. So we're talking if all things are equal, everything is balanced, no biases one way or another. If everything's equal, justifying Astrobot with 12 hours for $60, Mario should cost significantly. Mario Odyssey should cost significantly more. None of them will admit that Mario Odyssey should cost significantly more than Astrobot, though. None of them will admit that. Actually, right now, Astrobot is more expensive than Mario Odyssey. You can get Mario Odyssey for cheaper, physical. So, you know, that's all I was trying to say. That's it with the $10 JoJo. And he says, here's a JoJo dono for your music request, F0GX Sand Ocean. Yes, sir. Yes, value is subjective. Like I said, if all things are equal, it's hypothetically speaking in their logic, not my own. I don't have that logic with that. I do have value per se, but it's not the be all end all, you know, of everything. So yeah. F0GX Sand Ocean. Value is always truly subjective to the consumer. Once I got the sale tag up, it's consumer by desire. There you go, man. There you go. Thank you so much, Mr. Vatset, with the $10 JoJo. You are tied up with Zoo for the Stream Ninja. And of course, we've got a brand new Overclock.
Overclock Buster!
Hey, 45 minutes extension. 2 JoJos on the board already. You guys out here with the JoJos. Appreciate that, guys. Let's get you up on here, Vadcent. Anybody that's $10, you can tie up or pass up Zoo and Vadcent on the board for the Stream Ninja. Zoo's still at the top for the Stream Hokage, though, with the 10. Or, sorry, with the 20. By that logic, 12-hour logic, Xenoblade should be... Exactly. Xenoblade actually should be well more than that. Because Xenoblade's probably, like... If you're looking at 100% of Xenoblade, you're looking at, like, 150 hours. For most Xenoblade, let's just say 120 hours for 100%. But even then, that's not even 100% like right. But let's just say 120 hours. So by that logic, actually, Xenoblade should cost $600. It should cost like 60 times 10. Xenoblade should cost like $500 plus by that logic. If 12 hours is worth 60 for the value in gameplay, then Xenoblade games should cost $500 plus. Again, I would easily pay 80 for Super Smash Bros. U because that's easily worth it to me. Yeah. Well, Mario Kart is not a platformer. I don't like racing games. I wouldn't think Mario Kart World is worth that much. Once again, we are speaking if all things are created equal. Once again, I said that. I said it's not about what you like or dislike. Okay, then I can say PS5 is not worth it because I don't like PlayStation. We're not talking about that. They're trying to talk as if they're being objective, not based off what they like and dislike. They don't want to admit that. They just say, I don't like this. So I could easily say, well, I don't like platformers, so Mario Kart World's worth way more. We're talking about all things being equal, Dawson, not your own perceived biases. I personally don't like racing games a ton. I don't like platformers more than anything. They're about equal to me. So I'm looking at it from an equal perspective. I play platformers. If anything, I play platformers more than I do racing games. So if anything, I might have a slight bias towards that. But I'm simply talking about from an objective perspective and gameplay value, not about what you personally like. Because if you start doing that, then you start attaching dollar values to what you personally like. We're not talking about that. We're talking objectively in a discussion/debate. Not your feelings. You see what I'm saying? Do you guys understand? And I said it at the very beginning of the show. I said, I don't care about your feelings. That's not part of the discussion. Your feelings isn't worth that. Because, listen, we're not attaching value to what genres you like. We're attaching value to the actual what you get out of the game. The hour amount. So all things being equal in a debate or a discussion, not your feelings. So I think maybe you missed that part. So hopefully you got that part now. But that was my take. My take, they were not speaking on they like platformers more. They were speaking on value perspective. Like, oh well, value for value, hours, not on what they like or dislike. What they really meant to do was say what you just said, Dawson. Well, I don't like this. That's what they really meant. But if you do that in a discussion or a debate, clearly you've already outed yourself. Well, you just don't like it. That's our whole point. But they don't want to look like it's that way. Like, oh, I just have my bias. They want to look like they're objectively correct. So like I said, we're talking about it from a discussion, all things considered equal. You like platformers, you like racing games, and we're judging it from the value from there and going forward. So yeah, you came in late. So, okay, yeah, you missed that one. You came in late, but that's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about having your perceived bias with one genre over another or one IP over another. That's what I was talking about. See, graphics, hours of play, and the same views objectively judge a game. Anybody can objectively judge anything. I was simply talking about it, like I said, game for game, all things considered equal. And that's how the discussion was framed. The discussion was framed as you're not getting value for what you're paying for. Not I like this more, so I see more value in this, so it's worth it. That's not a good debate. That's like, okay, that's your opinion. I can just say, okay, well, PS5 is not worth it at all. It's not worth the money. Why? Well, it's just not. I don't like it. That's not a way to debate. That's not a real debate. That's just, okay, then you don't like it. But we're talking about from an actual discussion and debate from a gamer standpoint in terms of value, which is supposed to be objective. It's not. What it is just it's slided towards what they like. They don't like this, they like this, so therefore they're going to act. They're going to make the charade, put up the cloak that it's objective. But ultimately, what I figured out today is that it's not. It's that they don't like this, so therefore I'm going to say this. That's what it is. But it's under the guise of, no, it's objective. No, it's not. You just simply don't like this game. You don't like the game. And therefore you're trying to make it seem as if something else has better value and trying to make it objective. It's not objective. It's not objective at all, actually. You know, the Astrobot thing proved it to me. Clearly not objective. And I don't know why anybody would say 12 hours is worth $60. It completely destroys any argument that you're going to have in the future for value. So I don't even know why that was brought up. That is the absolute worst example to bring up if you're trying to look objective or fair or non-biased. A 12-hour game being worth $60. You know how many games give you way more value, way more hours than that? So I don't even understand why that was... That should have never been said. That I would have just dipped the conversation after that, because now everything else is shot. Because now you're hamstruck to 12 hours is worth $60, and almost nobody would. I wouldn't say almost nobody, but a lot of people obviously would not think the same about that, right? So I don't know why they did, but that's why I said none at this point. I no longer take what they say about value seriously, because Astrobot is a game, and that's 100% for 12 to 18 hours. If you just play the game normally, you're looking at a few hours for $60. If you just play through 4 hours, maybe, for just the playthrough, you know, I've seen some people 100% the game on a single playthrough in like 5 or 6 hours, right? Like, it's like I said, I'm being generous with Astrobot's total playtime. Excuse me, you know? So the fact that they were validating that just makes me say, okay, I get it now. At first, I thought it was actually they're trying to be objective, but it's no longer the case anymore. By validating Astrobot at 60 for 12 hours, like I said, the graphics are good, but they're not anything mind-blowing. Oh my gosh, the greatest thing ever. There's no voice acting, by the way. There's like zero real voice acting in the game. That's also cheaper to make a game that there's no voice acting, or not that it needs it, but I'm just saying there's no voice acting. There's no like massive, I think it's all in engine. There's no massive CG, crazy cutscenes and stuff that would jump the price up like a Concorde type of thing, right? So there's nothing like that either. There's no multiplayer, but you're trying to validate. By the way, adding multiplayer to a game makes it more expensive because you have to pay for of course, the server costs. You have to pay for the multiplayer development and testing. Adding multiplayer makes the game more expensive. If you have a single player campaign plus a multiplayer campaign, if you remove the multiplayer campaign, the game will be cheaper because you no longer have to spend hours in multiplayer testing. So it will be a cheaper game. So there's no multiplayer, but they're trying to justify $60. Like, no, I'm sorry. I can't take that seriously anymore. Let's see. It's also like Nintendo Prime said, the word scam is starting to lose its meaning, especially when it comes to video games. Yes. I think so a bit too. Determining the value of something, let's see, something ain't out, that ain't out, make no sense. I mean, you can give some general preliminary, like what you think, right? Like, and I think that's fair. I think it's fair to do that, DJ King, but the way that it was framed on Twitter to me shows that, okay, it's no longer about actually what's worth the value. You know? So yeah. It says, Mario Odyssey had more voice acting if you count the songs. Yeah, maybe. Hey, what's up, Mellow Wolf? So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, why not just admit you don't like something? LOL, people don't need to argue about every single thing that they don't like. Well, because then if you do that, then people don't take your opinion seriously. Like, if you simply just point out, like I said, if you simply just point out, because, listen, there's a thing in debate. I don't know if you guys have ever been in debate before, right? But if you're in debate, if you watch, let's just not even take yourself. Let's take a debate show. Who here has watched Undisputed or the old Undisputed, or watched First Take, or watched even First Things First, or anything like that, right? Any of these sports shows. The goal is to never make yourself look biased that you don't like something. Because if you do, then your opinion is disregarded because you're coming at it from an unbalanced opinion. So nobody's going to take you seriously in any debate. Now, I did debate in high school, okay? And I've been in plenty. They're not going to take you seriously if they already think that you're biased. That's why some people will not take me seriously. You know, oh, you're just sliding towards Nintendo. I'm like, okay, well then come debate. I'll show you that I'm not. Well, no, I don't want to do that because then you're going to prove that you're not. You know what I'm saying? So they rather just call me names from afar. And that's completely fine. But when it comes to coming here and debating, I've taken almost 0 L's on debates here. Like literally 0. But the reason why people want to come at it from objective, like all things are equal, is because then once again, you will not be seen as, okay, well, your opinions, it's just completely biased. You know, you already don't like something. What does it matter what you're arguing against? We know you don't like it. It's like when people argue like Kobe versus LeBron or Jordan versus LeBron. You know what I'm saying? It's almost, it depends, right? You can have a lot of biases. Yes, I'm a Bulls fan. I like Michael Jordan more. Do I spend all my days arguing Michael Jordan versus LeBron? No, because I already know that I'm biased. I like Michael Jordan more. So I don't spend all my days on Twitter and stuff arguing Michael. I don't care about Michael Jordan versus LeBron debates. I don't care at all. I already know I'm biased. I like Michael Jordan more. Okay? I've watched both their careers. I grew up old enough to watch Michael Jordan. I obviously have watched LeBron. I think Michael Jordan's better. But it doesn't matter in my opinion. I'm biased. I'm a Bulls fan. I'm biased. I already know what it is. Now, I can evaluate both of their games unbiasedly and look at what they've done and say that and give objective takes, but I don't really care. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. You know, and if I debated against somebody else, they just say, okay, well, you're a Bulls fan. Okay, I'm a Bulls fan. I get that. You know, I can look at individual games and say, okay, well, Michael Jordan did X, Y, Z, B, D, A, whatever, and objectively look at that, which I could if I wanted to, but it's not worth it to me. I don't care. You know, I don't really care. That's the case. But I honestly believe that Michael Jordan's better. And I believe that Michael Jordan's better because Michael Jordan won 6 finals, and he won 6 finals MVPs, and he won 10 scoring titles. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it from the sense of Michael Jordan was perfect in the finals. Was perfect. He never lost. Never lost in the finals. Never lost in NCAA. He won a college basketball title. He won every USA Dream Team. He never lost in any title games. He's never lost in his whole professional career from college and up. So that's my opinion, but it doesn't matter, you know. Kevin with the $1 dono, and he says, what's up, OJ? I look at the game price and the value coming up with the JRPGs. Expedition 33, the price is $50, and that is great. And Expedition 33 is $50 not because they feel it's a cheaper game, but because 1, their payroll was lower. Also, 2, they had a Game Pass deal, but 3, they know that people don't buy turn-based RPGs like that. So those are the reasons why Expedition 33 is that price. So yeah. Let's see. Fun fact: Bronny James has made more 3-pointers than Jordan in his rookie season. People didn't take 3s back then, so Jordan didn't take 3s. So that's the 3s weren't important like that back in the day. So that doesn't really mean anything. Michael Jordan was considerably better than Bronny will ever be. There is no universe. There is no stratosphere. There was no multi-dimension where Bronny is even half the player Michael Jordan is. It's not, I mean, I wouldn't even say 25% the player. Not even 25% the player Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's rookie year was incredible. I highly recommend all of you guys to go watch Michael Jordan's rookie year and tell me that's not the greatest rookie you've ever seen play basketball. Go watch it. He had the little fuzz buzz. I think he might have wore the chain. I don't remember. The Jordan 1s. Go back and watch Michael Jordan's rookie year and tell me that guy was not legitimately the baddest man in the world at that point in 1984, 85, or whenever his rookie year was. It was incredible. Bronny could barely hold one of his shoe ties on his, you know, on his Jordan 1s to Jordan's rookie year. And not only that, let me tell you one thing, because the Bulls had not a great team, but they had some guys that can play a little bit. And they thought Michael Jordan was all college, all whatever. This guy coming in, he think he's bad. Bro, the first practice, they tried to mess with him, make him run and do all that. Jordan got the ball, took it down, dunked it, multiple shots. People tried to get in his face, swerved out of their face, bend around the corner. This man was Jello before Jello. Dunking, shooting, and that's when they knew, uh-oh. Like, all the veterans on the team took a back seat and was like, okay, this guy's better than all of us. Literally, you had professionals making, you know, a good amount of money for the time being in the 80s, and they all just said, all right, we're good. That's how good Michael Jordan was. It didn't take a year or 2 years or 3 years. Look at what they said about LeBron. Look at what his teammates said about LeBron when he came into the league and what they were saying. Go look it up. And then look at what happened with Michael Jordan. Bro, it took him one practice to establish that he is the alpha male. One practice. That's all it took. One practice. Buffering? Oh, man. Okay, hold up. Yeah. We are buffering. I don't know why we're buffering, though. Hold up. You guys refresh the stream. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with YouTube. All right, buffer. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth streaming, such as viewers will experience buffering. Okay. Are we still buffering? Okay, we're still buffering. Seems fine now? Okay. All right, we good? MJ averages almost 30 points his rookie year. Exactly. The cursed sports talk. So yeah, it's all good. Ain't nobody care about his video, bruh. Ain't nobody care about his video. This dude got embarrassed and ratioed online. So ain't nobody, he was wrong. You lost. We ain't talking about that bum. You lost. He was wrong. You're wrong. Damn right I sold that Steam Deck. I'll sell it again. You clip, I'll bleep and do it again. Crusty ass Steam Deck. I'll sell it again if I had another. I'll sell it again. Make another video. I'll sell it again. And I'll sell it again because I'm a grown man. I'll sell whatever the hell I want. Ain't nobody care. You were wrong about the game key cards. You're wrong. You lost. You're wrong and you lost. You're wrong and you lost. So, ain't nobody worried about him. And he's also too scared to do a debate, too. So, let's just want to throw that out there. He was too scared to debate me man on man. He could take off his shirt, try to act like he's all buff with that fake creatine he be taking. All that fake creatine and steroids be getting definitely simulating some CTE or something like that for that man. I don't know. He might have been hit too many times in the head or something like that. So yeah. Let's see here. How he says, I sold mine too. Yeah, ain't nobody worried. That guy's crazy. He's, like I said, we ain't talking, like I said, we ain't bringing him up. We don't got to bring him up. He's a clout chaser. Like I said, he's probably a steroid abuser. Like I said, he's a complete weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Complete weirdo. that ain't nobody actually even takes seriously. Runs away from debates, runs away from discussions, ain't a real man, don't want to talk man to man. So we're not bringing that up again, guys. I already said my piece. Let's move on from it. I don't want to upset certain people. They get upset when we bring it up. So we ain't bringing it up. I don't care what he has to say. He was wrong about the key cards. He lost. He lost. You lost. So just, you were wrong. You're wrong. And that's it. It starts and it stops then. I'm a grown man. We're going to just do this one more time. I'm a grown man. I can sell whatever I want to sell. Any of my reasons are 100% justified. I don't got to justify selling something and making content on whatever I want to make content on. There ain't no reason to explain. There ain't no justification that I have to explain for it. There ain't no right or wrong reasons why I do something with my own money, my own tech, my own channel. Worry about yourself. I ain't got to explain nothing to nobody. There ain't no universe. There ain't no scenario where anything that he's got to say about me is right. So we're just going to leave it at that. That's that. It's over with. Anytime that anybody wants to actually come on here and debate any point that they've got to say with that video that I had on Steam Deck, I am once again open. I am opening the doors for anybody else to come and debate that if they have a problem. Doors are open, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Let it be known. Those doors are open. If you've got something to say, come through. We can do it right now. But until then, I've got no takers on this that wants to do it seriously. So I don't got to hear nothing from nobody in the comment section or nobody else. Okay? All right. We're going to close the door on that. We're done. All right? We done. We're done. We're not bringing it up anymore. We're done. You lost. You lost. Let's see here. It's wrong on he was wrong on the game card, wrong on Steam Deck as well, optimized in Switch 2, wrong on wireless. GC controls only works for NSO. I can go on. Exactly. You lost and you're wrong. We're done. We're done, okay? Let's see. I'm telling you, most YouTubers bias already. Yeah. Let's see. I'll pay 20 bucks for that debate. There will be no debate. There will be no debate. I offered, he ran away scared. He ran away scared. He didn't want to do it. He wanted none of this smoke. So, of course not. So, we're done. Let's see here. The Switch 2 dock is 4K. I know not every game is gonna be 4K, but imagine Nintendo and Nvidia announced Switch 2 PS5 graphics power. You're not gonna get PS5 graphics power in dock mode. Resolution and power are not the exact same thing. Being able to, you know, the more, like, you can have a really simple game in 4K, and you can have a game that's not as, you can have a game in 1080p that looks more graphically intense, that is more graphics, right, than a game that's more simple in 4K, you know? Super Christian Miro with the $1 dono says he doesn't get enough heads at night anyway, so that's why he can't debate. Shout outs though, guys. I appreciate the support. We are really close to 60 on the board for the for that. Let's get it. Says, Unreal. I don't like then nobody's saying that you don't have to like Nintendo games. If you don't like them, then don't like them. Play other stuff. Nobody's telling you that you do. Not gonna lie, talks in the video really seems like he takes steroids, like he moves overreact. Like I said, I'm done discussing and debating. I'm done. I'm not going over this again, guys. I already told you all this. I'm done. Look like first party was able to do on Switch 1. They're about to go crazy on Switch 2. Yes. They're about to go crazy on Switch 2. It's gonna be great. It is gonna be glorious. I cannot wait to see what big first party games. Year 1 is interesting, but year 2 and year 3, that's when things get really exciting. I think for me, Switch 1, year 3 was very interesting. Remember, what was year 3? Well, year 2 was Smash Bros., which was awesome. But year 3, that was like Astral Chain. That was like Link's Awakening. There was a lot of good stuff in year 3, which was 2019. So 2017 calendar year. 2017, 2018, 2019, right? So, man, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to see what they have for us. Let's see. Is this is the first Nintendo console release in my life where I'm just whelmed. Okay. Give me 120 frames per second. Astral Chain. I think that Astral Chain definitely needs to get an update. I would love to see Astral Chain get a nice update. That would be That would be perfect if Astral Chain was able to get a nice update and you know, and look good and all that good stuff, you know. I would love for that to be a thing. Like, I would love that to be like awesome. So let's hope. Switch 2 hate and Doomerism is out of control. Now they're complaining it didn't release 3 years ago as Switch Pro. Nobody logical is complaining about that. That's for sure. Switch 2 is using the same CRT index code as Switch 1, so Yuzu should be compatible with Switch 2 games and with minor tweaks, thankfully. That's not true. That's definitely not true. That's definitely not going to be something when it comes to that. That's definitely not going to be a thing. But let's see here. But you know what? We don't even have to debate and discuss that. We'll find out in June. In June, if you can use Yuzu and all of a sudden play Switch 2 games, we'll find out in June. We'll see about that. Because the hilarious thing is that you don't think Nintendo knows that. Considering they went after Yuzu and all that, right? Considering you don't think that they know what you just said? You really think that they're going to allow that? I mean, come on now, man. You really think that they didn't think about that? The fact that you just said it right now, you don't think that Nintendo's been going after these companies. They are not going to have the same process allowing you to hack and glitch and do all this type of stuff on Switch 2, the same one as Switch 1. You really think that? Good luck. Don't get me wrong. I still think that somehow they'll find a way, but it ain't going to be the same way they found it through Yuzu and Switch 1. That's insane. Especially after Nintendo went after them, you know? So yeah. Astral Chain 4K 60. 4K 60 would be nice for Astral Chain. Nintendo's gonna release a banger after banger. Well, Xbox and Sony don't release more than one exclusive a year. I mean, Sony's at about maybe two or three exclusives per year. But once again, they got jacked up because of the live service stuff. So yeah, really not much they can do. Well, until they recover. They allowed it. Okay. Like I said, Rex, how much you want to bet? You willing to actually put some money on this or no? Or are we just talking? They allow, so day one you should be able to get Switch 2 are you implying that day one you'll be able to get Switch 2 games running on Yuzu? Is that what you're saying? Day one? I want to know what you're actually saying. Switch 2 games day one? We don't even need to debate or discuss it. We can just throw down the bet right now. We can just throw down the bet right now and we'll see who's right. Because Switch 2's coming in 2 months. So, if you think that's gonna happen, how much you want to bet? If you're pretty confident. Just bought it. Oh, you're broke. Oh yeah, you're broke. Oh yeah, I bought a new mother. Steve coming, sweat bubble on the back. I don't know. I thought that was free money for you, brother. I thought you'd want to make some money. You're broke, right? Hold up, this is an easy bet for you. You need some money, don't you? You need some money, right? You should throw down something, man. That's called it. I don't call it being broke. I call it an investment. If you knew that you were gonna make if you had $20 and you knew that you were gonna make $40 by simply being right about something, then all you gotta do is say, okay, yeah, no problem. I have no problem doing 10. You know? So yeah. Says no, it'll take a few months to get let's bet how many months? How many months we're looking at here? Rex, let's do it. How many months? WG Productions with a $20 dono. Shout out to WG Productions with a $20 dono. Big love. You are now the Stream Ninja and tied up with Zoo with the Hokage board. Thank you so much, Mr. WG Productions. Appreciate that. WG. Let's get it, man. I'm down. I'm ready. All of you the people that think that they're going to be playing everything on PC. Actually, I got a video kind of talk about how Nintendo needs to shore that up. But if you think that's going to be happening, let's do it. Let's get the bet going. I am down. I see it as an investment. I don't see it as I see it as like a profit. But I don't think you're too confident about it, so that's okay. We can have a little bit of fun. We can just do a gentleman's bet if you want. 4 months? 4 months to get games running perfect on there, or 4 months to get just games running on there? Like, are they trash? How's the quality? So that would be June. July, August, September, October. October? So by October, things will be running perfect on there? Is that what you're saying? I think it's hilarious that you don't think that Nintendo knows this. That's the funniest thing, is that you don't think Nintendo knows this. That you think they just left it. That's the hilarious thing. That you think Nintendo just left that. That's the funny thing. Let's see. IOJ40 always IOJ40 for always being a real one. Yo, let's go. Let's see. OJ always trying to rob his viewers. I'm not trying to rob anybody. Here's the problem, guys. I already told this story, but I'll say it again. The problem that I had is last generation, I let too many of y'all off the hook. A lot of these guys would come here and make statements and want to argue and make all these proclamations about sales, about this, about that, and I would argue and we would give them attention that they're looking for, right? Because you're looking for attention when you do stuff like that. And then when they were wrong, they were literally Toby, nowhere to be found. Kamui, nowhere to be found. Where'd you go, fam? You only show up when you want to argue and get clout? You're not here to actually be a part of the community. You're just looking to get attention from me. So I need an investment. I need a physical in terms of monetary, and I need an emotional investment. Because when you bet on something, you're now more paying attention. Think about it for a second. If you bet $50 on the Super Bowl, are you more if you bet $50 on the Eagles winning the Super Bowl compared to betting $0 on the Super Bowl, what would you be more emotionally attached to seeing the game play out? Clearly, if you bet money, you are more invested. You will see it through. Whereas if you didn't bet anything, you might not even watch the game. You might not even care. But if you bet, you're going to be paying attention. You're going to be paying attention. So that's the reason why I'm not letting people freeload and come here and argue and get clout and argue and talk. No. We ain't doing that this gen. I did that last gen and y'all all ran. Every one of you guys that were wrong, I got some payouts. Don't get me wrong. There was some people that paid out, but I would say 90% of the people ran away and never came back with the same name. I'm not allowing that this generation. Y'all got to pay up. You want clout? You want to come here and say, they're going to do this? Pay up. You want to make big proclamations? Pay up. Otherwise, we can agree to disagree and move on. If that's the case, move on to the next topic. WG Productions with another $10 dono. It says, Switch 2, PC, PlayStation, Game Pass. Just play where you want and enjoy the games. Exactly. Play where you want and enjoy the games. I agree. So and Party Man was here. Party Man, you were here. You saw these guys. They got free entertainment. They got free attention in front of hundreds of people. We are no longer allowing that. If you want to ask questions and you want to have fun and you want to discuss WG Productions, thank you for the dono. You want to come here and have a good conversation, I'm fine with doing that. But I am no longer entertaining people coming here and being, they're going to emulate everything and come in here. The sales are going to, no. You're going to start making Notre Dame predictions and all. Pay up. If not, move on. You know, I'm not allowing that. We are not doing that this time around. We did that last time and all those people disappeared. I guarantee you when Rex is wrong, he will not show up again. But I guarantee you, if he put a little bit down, he'd be more invested. He'd be showing up more. He'd be saying, hey, OJ, this is what I think. He'd be showing up. So no, we're no longer allowing that. Let's see. Wilt Chamberlain played in an era where there was nowhere near as many good people. Wilt Chamberlain's era was not as good as Jordan's era in terms of the quality of players. But Wilt Chamberlain was awesome. He's also 7 foot tall. The ratio of your payouts was like 5%. My payouts were bad, man. My payouts were, I'll be honest, I never really got all my payouts that I should have got. But that's okay. It's okay. We got what we could. We got what we could. Let's see. Again, Nintendo themselves saying Switch 2 is completely different. Switch 1 means it won't come day one. No, but he's saying a few months. I mean, even Switch 1 can't run, or even Switch 2 can't run Switch 1 games natively. So, I doubt everything's going to be the same. Let's see. Matt says there won't be Switch 2 emulation in any reasonable time frame for the broke bum community. Nintendo's on their ish down. We'll see what happens. I love my Steam Deck, but I can't wait for Switch 2. Don't own a PC, so I'll probably keep the Steam Deck emulation 360 era games. Hey, shoutouts, man. I don't have any issue with Steam Deck. I legitimately don't have any issue with Steam Deck. I actually don't have any issue with people that want to emulate or people that pirate stuff. I don't have any issue with those people. My issue is with Nintendo. My issue, honestly, is that they've got to do a better job. You got to lock things down. You got to lock things down. You cannot allow people to run rampant on your system. So if people figure it out day one, whose fault is that? That Nintendo's got to be better with their product. It's like saying, having like, let's say you're locking up, right? You're going, you own a shop, you own a store, okay? And you have a bunch of valuable products. You have merchandise, you have food, you have clothing. And then instead of locking your doors and doing your best in security, you leave one door unlocked and you leave another door partially open. If you wake up in the morning and you go home and you wake up and you go back to work and your stuff is jacked, whose fault is that? Yeah, sure, it's the robber's fault, but at the end of the day, it's your fault. You did a poor job of security. Right? Now, I'm not trying to victim blame, but you've got to protect your stuff if you're doing something valuable. It's like when you go out of town. If you have no security cameras, you don't lock your doors, you don't lock your windows, and somebody, as you're out of town, goes into your house and steals all your stuff, sure, screw them for doing that, but at the same time, you did not help yourself. Ultimately, you needed to you should probably get cameras. You should probably lock all your doors. You should probably lock all your windows. And you should probably have somebody check on your house every now and then. You know? So, you've got to protect yourself. You can't allow them to do stuff like that. And Jordan did not play. Jordan played against Larry Bird. Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What are you talking about? Jordan played in one of the greatest eras of all time in terms of competitiveness with what? 76ers, Julius Erving? What are you talking about? What? Said Jordan played against Plummer. No, he didn't. What? What the? No, he did not. Anyway. My only worry with Switch 2 security standpoint is those physical game key cards. If security isn't up to snuff, encryption can reverse engineering. Yep. Yeah, but we gotta see how they work though, first and foremost. A guy was posting FF7 Rebirth running on his iPhone on Reddit and used that as an excuse for why Switch 2 isn't impressive. FF7 running on his iPhone? Is FF7 on an iPhone? On top of that, that iPhone is probably gonna blow up at some point. It'd probably blow up. Dude, you can run like a little mobile game on iPhone or on Android. Your phone gets incredibly hot, but I don't know what the heck that is. Final Fantasy VII, it's a PS4 game. If it's integrated, then they use the PS5 lighting system. But Final Fantasy VII is still a top tier in terms of graphics, a top tier PS4 game. It's not like it's you know that it's a scrub game, you know. I watched your video today. One thing I should say is that Falcom has been announcing a lot more games for Switch 2 first before PC or PS and PC. Proud Nordics was in Japan. Switch 2 Direct. Oh, okay. I missed the announcement. I missed that one because they just put that on Gamatsu, so I missed that one. My bad. So it looks bad. Damn it. Okay. Thank you, DJ King. Appreciate that. I'll make an adjustment in my next video or in another video where I talk about that where I made a mistake. But yeah, it's good that more. Anyway, my whole point was more games are being announced. Darm X with the $5 says everybody and their mama is chattering about Switch 2, and here I am doing side quests and leveling up in Xeno X. Just finally get my Skell. I know, dude. I just started Chapter 6 today. So I'm gonna get my Skell in a bit. I've been doing a million different side quests. So yeah. I had an idea about Nintendo. What if they raised the price of Switch 2 to $4.99 with Mario Kart World packed in for a limited time around the year? The bundle end for $5.50. That's pretty much the same bundle that they have right now, right? That's the same thing that they have right now, right? Raise the price of the Switch. Okay, the base Switch 2. Okay, $4.99 with the Mario Kart World packed in, but that's how it already is. It's $500 right now with Mario Kart packed in, and then at the end of the year, okay, when the sale ends, it's $5.50. Okay, I mean that might be a possibility if tariffs hit. Yeah. if tariffs hit. Let's see, waiting for Switch 2 before I replay Xenoblade Chronicles X. Haven't got a scale yet. Yeah, I'm just trying to do as many side quests as possible. I don't know if I'll be able to hold out and not beat the game, you know, because the Switch 2, we still got a good 2 months before the Switch 2 launches. It launches on June 5th. That's a Thursday. So we've got a little bit less than 2 months. So yeah. Nintendo will finally address the online networks and netcode this generation. Well, Super Man, if you've been watching any of my videos, you would know that they've already addressed that partially with the NPLN network. So if you play stuff like Super Mario Party Jamboree, it runs pretty good overall. And any of their newer online games, or even like Monster Hunter Rise, that also runs really good too. So netcode, that's something that you program in. It's a combination between these servers and what's happening, but then also the code that's written by the developer. So that's also going to be part on the developer. Developer can write a bad code for netcode and then put the game up, and the online's trash. That's not always just based off of Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo. But yeah, MPLN's been installed since 2021, and it's been casually integrated into more and more games. So I mean, they've already been addressing that. That's not new news. They've already been. They actually started in the Switch 1 era. So yeah. Let's see here. The whole $500 thing is a scam. It's basically starting piece of a pricing system. Everyone will buy the bundles. Switch 2 really costs $450. I don't think everyone's gonna buy just the $500 one. The $450 ones are sold out pre-orders as well. So there are people that are actually buying the $450 one, but I don't know how it's a scam. I don't know how it's the starting price. You might not want Mario Kart. Everyone doesn't like Mario Kart. What if you want Bravely Default? And that's $40 game. So actually you save a little bit if you do it that way, right? Or what if you don't want that game? What if you want Street Fighter? Or what if you want Cyberpunk? Or what if you want a different game, right? You might not want Mario Kart, so why pay for Mario Kart if you don't want Mario Kart, you know? So I don't see how that's a scam. I mean, it's pretty straight up. It's only maybe a scam if you want Mario Kart, but if you don't want Mario Kart, then it's not. But then even then, it's I want, as someone who's been in marketing, I don't call that a scam. I don't think that's a scam. A scam is a trick or something that's trying to get it. It's like if they like removed something, then said you have to do something. You don't have to buy Mario Kart. It's not like an essential thing. There's other games coming out, so I wouldn't quite call it a scam. That's a little bit loose on the terms there, Rex, but it's all good. I hope Dustblood isn't multiplayer all the way through. It is. It is a multiplayer game. It's a PvPvE. I'm still on chapter 6. Also, yeah, we back out here. Okay, seems like that's one of the biggest criticisms I'm seeing right now. Which one? Scam, people just throwing around that word loosely. Nintendo ain't trying to trick people to put fraudulent. Yeah, it's not a fraudulent thing at all. It's like it's a deal. If you want Mario Kart, it's $50 off the top. It's digital only. You don't got to pay for the cartridge though. So how much is that cartridge, right? That cartridge could be manufacturing $10, $15, whatever. I mean, you can say it's a scam by, I don't know, $10, $20 if you want, but manufacturing a physical game is definitely going to be more expensive than manufacturing or a digital packing code. So yeah. People really need to stop calling things that they don't like a scam. Yeah. Switch 2 launched on your birthday. Happy birthday on the Switch 2 time. Let's go. Let's go. Shoutouts. Auntie says, but yeah, I wish I'm not a multiplayer guy, but then again, I'm not a FromSoft guy either. So however it is, I'll try it out, but however it is what it is, but I'm not a big FromSoft guy. Let's see here. So yeah. Forcing the Kinect with the Xbox One was a scam. That to me seems more scamish because Kinect was not an integral part in the actually buying the system. So forcing the people to use Kinect, even though Kinect is very optional, but forcing it in the bundle when it's not a required thing is really weird. On top of that raises all sorts of privacy concerns, having a camera forced in there and having to, if it was required. So to me, that's more of a scammy thing because it is not a required thing to have a camera on your system. Like that's not required. Why would you require that in the package? Require people to hook up, and it just doesn't make sense to me for Connect. So that can be seen as more of like a scammy type of thing, in my opinion. There's not a why would you buy the system without Mario Kart? Because there's some people that don't like Mario Kart. That's why. Like there are people that don't like Mario Kart. So if you don't like Mario Kart, then you can buy the system without Mario Kart. Mario Kart is not a required game. So it's not logical to say that you don't like Mario Kart. Rex, please tell me you're trolling, man. I think you're trolling at this point because you're really bad at this. You're really bad. You're not good. You're not good. Like you debate like it's Twitter. You know, you debate like it's Twitter. The pre-orders for the $450 Switch 2 are sold out as well. So people are buying the $451 as well. So yeah, none of your arguments are making any sense. Do you have anything like logical, or are you good, man? WG Productions with the $10 says, do you think that they will bring vouchers back for Switch 2 at some point? Possibly. Am I a good troll, says Projo? No, not really. No. You're not a good troll either. I actually have not met a good troll yet. There hasn't really been anybody here that's been good enough yet. A lot of you guys that do come, like Rex, that come here and troll and all that, you guys are not very good. Like, it's not a logical opinion. People are going to want no, plenty of people don't buy Mario Kart. There's plenty of people that don't want Mario Kart. That's not your opinion on what people is logical or not. That's not factual. That's just your opinion. Your opinion isn't logical. Your opinion is just your opinion. So that's not even the definition of logical. Like, it's not even the definition of logical. So yeah, it's just very easily disproven stuff. What else does he got though? You're not trolling? Oh, okay, so you're just stupid. Okay, no problem then, Rex. I'll leave you alone. You should have just admitted that you were trolling, because then I say, okay, he's just trolling. Okay, no, you're just dumb. Okay, so no problem then. I will leave you. I'll leave you be. I will leave you be and let you have fun. Let's see here. Do you think that Mario Kart World is 150cc was slow? Felt super slow to me. It was like 50cc. Mario Kart World, I didn't even see any 150cc, and I haven't played it yet. Once I actually play it, then I can tell you if it feels slow or feels fast, but I haven't played it. So yeah. Jeffrey Tucker says, yep, I'm not getting the bundle. Well, there you go. Not everyone's going to get it. Some people aren't going to want to get it. So it's not logical to say that who's going to not want to get it. There's going to be lots of people that don't want to get it, that don't like Mario Kart. Like, everybody doesn't like Mario Kart, you know? So a lot of people like Mario Kart, a lot of people don't like Mario Kart. So it's not logical, but whatever. What is Mario Kart? A Fortnite spinoff? Yes. It's a Fortnite spinoff. It's a Fortnite spinoff. That's exactly what it is. Fortnite spinoff. So yeah. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen, I haven't played it. So once I play it, then I can tell you guys if it needs that or not. I think a lot of the footage people are playing on 50cc or 100cc. I think Nintendo was playing like 100cc. So we haven't seen it on the fat, and like we don't know what carts that they're using for the speed. So right now, once I play it, then I can tell you guys it needs something or not. But right now, it's impossible to tell through YouTube videos and stuff like that when people are playing on 50cc or 100cc or using smart steering and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah. I might go to a different Switch 2 event, but I can't really talk about it right now. Says, I like that we still have Switch 1 backlog of games, plus Switch and Switch 2 players can play the same game together. If it's on Switch 1, like a card game, for example, they showcase. Well, yeah, the game sharing thing. Yeah. You're cooked? Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. Ah, that sucks, dude. That sucks. Sorry about that, Commander DMB. The last great troll was... The last great troll, or the last troll that I felt was, like, kind of somewhat even effective was Cal M. Cal M was the last, like, troll that I felt was somewhat effective. Like... Cal M, because he sometimes made sense and was logical, but then a lot of times it was just annoying. He's just mad low-key annoying. So I'd probably say Cal M was for those who remember Cal M, he was like the last, like most of the trolls that come here now, like, couldn't debate their way out of a 3rd grade classroom. So like, to be honest, a lot of the people here couldn't debate a lot of the trolls that come today can't debate their way out of a third. They'd have trouble with my little nephew to keep like out debating him. They'd have trouble with him. So So yeah, so right now I ain't met anybody that's been anything worth it, but it's okay. Let's see here. So yeah. Let's see. Can you make a top 10 underrated games on Switch vid? What would be a good one? I already made a top 10 underrated. I think I've made a couple top 10. I've made like top 25, top 10 underrated RPGs, top 10 underrated games. So yeah, I've already made that. It's on the channel. Echo Chamber, you seem to be the ringleader. Come through a debate. You got a mic, Rex? Debate me and come here and say anything that you want logical. If it's Echo Chamber, we can debate on Twitter. You want to go on Twitter? We can put it there. We can go on a different channel. Show up, debate what you want to debate. Time and place. Time, place, money. Let me know. I'll body you in a debate or a discussion. In an echo chamber, in a chamber, out of chamber, hurricane chamber. You know what I'm saying? What's that? Wrestling chamber? You know what I'm saying? Like any chamber. Chamber match. Steel cage match. It don't matter what it is. I can debate you in, out, around town. You'll lose every single time. I can debate you on Twitter. I can debate you. Here I am, Sam I am, green eggs and ham. It don't matter. You're going to go down every single time. You're not. You're just not that great. It's time to face the facts. You're not that good of a troll. And you're just, let's keep it a buck. You're not exactly that smart either. Let's just be real. So you name a time, date, place, and the money you want to put up, and we'll see who's more logical, where, when, how, and why. Let's do it. You think this is an echo chamber? Take me on anywhere else. Let's go on Twitter. Let's do it. Pick the topics. Let's go at it. You'll get cooked anywhere. You'll get cooked anywhere. I'll come to your house and cook you. I'll come to your house and debate you in front of your mom, and your mom will take me as the new son. I'll be the new son. I'll sit at the front of the table and get the big piece of chicken. You'll do the dishes afterwards. I'll debate you at your house and I'll beat you. You can't beat me anywhere. Oh man, it's all good. Chamber of Commerce. What's that wrestling match that they have? Chamber of Secrets. Says now you're getting personal. You got personal first. He just said this is an echo chamber and blah blah blah. I'm the ringleader. Hey, you want to take personal shots? I can take personal shots too. I can take so he actually took it personal first, not me. He took it there. So let's see here. Chicken over this beef right here. Yeah, let's go. Actually, I did say he's stupid though, so never mind. I think I actually kind of took it a little bit there first. But that's because he's trolling me on purpose though. So he's intentionally trolling me. So I did say that. So I will guilty as charged on that one. But yeah, he's trolling on purpose though. Let's see here. So I'm having a little bit of fun with it. That's all. I'm just having a little bit of fun. He wants to come there and troll. Hey, we can turn it into a little bit of a fun event. I never like to judge somebody's profile picture, but SpongeBob and Scooter profile picture kind of inappropriate. I know, maybe. Wait, SpongeBob? Kind of. No, I don't think that's right. SpongeBob, that's not inappropriate. Let's see here. Yup, Mama making the big piece of chicken. He's doing the dishes, but there ain't no way he's beating me in a debate. I can already tell just by the stuff that he put up together, just by the stuff that he put here. He don't even know how to use the word properly of a scam. You know what I'm saying? Your feelings does not mean something's a scam in terms of what people want to buy more so or not. Scam would have to be something that is maybe removed or something that is not in there, and maybe it should have been in there overall, or it should, like, it's an essential thing. You know, Mario Kart's not essential. If you don't want to play Mario Kart, then you don't got to play Mario Kart. You know. Now, like, let's just say Nintendo, I don't know, remove the HDMI drive from the system and said you got to buy an HDMI drive separate. That would be a scam, because, like, how can you charge for an HDMI drive? Nobody cares what you think, Rex. Nobody cares, man. Nobody cares. Remember, it's an echo chamber. Nobody cares. Let me see. Let me take a look. I'll take a closer look. I think this person's probably, I should have checked his join for, oh yeah. Yeah, yep. Hold up. Okay, yeah, this guy's definitely a weirdo and a troll. Hold up, yeah, he needs a ban. Okay, thank you, Minato Mario, I appreciate that. Yeah, this guy, he's a weirdo and he's a troll and he definitely needs to be banned. And he made it, so yeah, let me go ahead and ban this guy. Hide the user on the channel. Yeah, okay. Sorry, it's so small I could not see what the profile picture was. Thank you, Minato, but yeah, that guy needs a ban. We entertained him enough. I didn't notice. Thank you, Minato. I appreciate that. But he had his fun. It was good. It was fun while it lasted. He'll be back. Trust me, he'll be back with another sock account. He'll be back with another sock account. Don't worry. He'll be back with another one because he ain't got nothing better to do. Yes, I watch anime sometimes when I feel like it. I watch when I feel like it. Sometimes I feel like it. Sometimes I don't. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes I feel like it. Sometimes I don't. But I don't really have a ton of time to watch anime like all the time and all that. I really don't, man. I don't have a ton of time to watch. Let me see if I still have this though. So yeah. Yo, shoutouts to Shinru with the California Smasher.
Damn, this man's is getting cooked and the chat is loving the food OJ is cooking tonight. We need a best of roasts video from you, OJ.
Oh man.
These clowns are always trying you, LMAO. I do have some good news for you in a Discord DM I send you soon. Okay.
Good. I love good news. Shout out to the supporters of Cillian with the $2 as well. It says banned, gone forever. Banned. You know what else is not banned? You know what else is not banned? My man Cloud. My man Cloud is not only is he not banned, Shinru, the big homie, coming through, but not only is Cloud not banned, he is here bigger, badder, and better than ever. Let's go! Don't worry, guys. We're going to have plenty of bonus. Plenty of stuff coming up. Switch 2 is upon us. It is upon us. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody with the support. Big love to Shinru becoming the Hokage. And Stream Ninja. And like I said, usually when we roast someone, it usually works out in my favor. Because, like I said, people love it when you just kind of roast, do a little bit of open flame roasting. And the person just walked away with a bruised ego and a ban. So, I don't know, man. I don't get it, Shinru. Thank you for the support. But yeah, he definitely got cooked. He definitely got cooked. He got cooked over an open flame. That's okay. He'll be back. He's probably been cooked multiple times. This is not his first time being here. He made the account like 40 minutes ago. So he just basically came to troll. But that's okay. The support, y'all be supporting me whenever this stuff happens. So I appreciate y'all. Super Crispy with the $3.
Finally, that weirdo Rex is gone. Like a fart in the wind.
Yeah, he's gone. Well, he's gone for now. He'll be back in a different form. He'll be back in a different form. So yeah. Shout out to Super Christian people. Thank you for the $3 dono. Thank you guys so much for the support. We out here tonight. Let's go even. You hit a double platinum last time. Oh, I want to say this, guys. Ow. I want to say this, guys. Listen. Thank you guys for all of your support today on today's stream. Hit that like button if you have not hit that like button. To infinity and beyond. Buzz Lightyear this year. It's going to be nothing but on the gas. On the gas, foot on the pedal, non-stop content. I'm telling you, I've got so much stuff lined up. I've got stuff lined up. And we got more lineups than Digital Foundry can ever even produce. Let's go. Shout outs to my man Baron. Check this out, guys. On Thursday, big birthday stream. We got Mario Kart World discussion. We got hands-on Nintendo Switch 2 impressions. We've got special cool guests and discussions and talks. It is going to be Liddy McCity. It's going to be Liddy in the city, even if you're in the country. It is going to be awesome. I cannot wait, guys. So, this Thursday, 6 a.m., that is the Mario Kart World Nintendo Direct. Be there or be square. Do not miss that. If you're at work, quit work and come here. It doesn't matter. Mario Kart World is more important. No, I'm joking. Don't quit work. But have it in the corner of your screen. 6 a.m. the show starts, but I'll be live about an hour and a half before to get you guys revved up, ready to go for Mario Kart World. That is the first part of the festivities for the OJ Big Deluxe birthday stream. The second part goes down at 2 p.m. PT, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Straight up afternoon to evening, old school birthday stream. OJ's Bizarre Adventure, talking about best times in the village, other discussions. I got new stories for you guys. We're going to be talking about games, all the latest gaming news, guest speakers, like I said, hands-on impressions of Switch 2. It is going to be a bonanza, and DK ain't even going to be here. We getting it early. Let's go. So it is going to be great, guys. I cannot wait. I'm super excited. I cannot wait to have all you guys here drop by. Even if you can't, watch the replay. It is going to be a great stream. I'm so excited to have the birthday stream. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting, who's been here. And of course, for the birthday stream, it is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. We're going to have some special playlists. I've got some music that I've never played on stream before that I'm going to be playing. We're going to have special requests. We're going to have giveaways. It is just going to be like I said, a bonanza of a time. So, I'm looking forward to it, guys. Looking forward to it. Let's see here. I left the Discord because I wasn't active. Oh, okay. Shinru, you should have it. Oh, okay. Hold up, Shinru. I will send you a Discord DM. So you should be able to have access to it. So I will send you something on Discord to invite you back in. Shinru, I got you. Don't worry. I'll get you back in. Pre-orders might be going live on April 21st, this Monday. Look out. Like I said, that's why you need to come to my Mario Kart stream, because Nintendo could announce the pre-order dates on Thursday. So yeah. I have a work meeting during the stream. My camera and mic will be off because I'll be blowing out candles and OJ waiting for this Mario Kart Direct. Hey, let's go. Excuse me. Did you see that guy got stabbed at the GameStop in the mall? No, I didn't say anything about that, man. Wonder how long until we get color Joy-Cons. Our color Joy-Cons. I don't know. What colors do you guys think they're going to do first? I have these Joy-Cons. My son bit my white Joy-Cons. He bit them. Do I still have them? Yeah, I have them right here. My son did Hyper Fang. My son hit my white OLED Joy-Cons with Hyper Fang. So I don't use these anymore, even though I could use them, but you know, whatever. I can replace them if I wanted to. Big love to Tata. Yo, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. So my son used Hyper Fang on this Joy-Con. So it's out of commission. But now I'm using a gray Joy-Con. Shout out to Nintendo. They sent me, it was a while ago, they sent me some just standard gray Joy-Cons. So I'm using those. But I also have these Joy-Cons. I have, and it's actually green, but of course, you know, green screen. But I have these Joy-Cons. These are the launch ones. I forgot the neon pink and neon green. It looks ugly as heck in my white dock though. So I was using these and I said, nah. But Nintendo sent me these a long time ago. I forgot when Nintendo sent me these, but they sent me these a long time ago. I did buy these Joy-Cons though. I have the Skyward Sword Joy-Cons. And they also look ugly on my Nintendo. So like these Joy-Cons, they just kind of look ugly with almost anything. So I just have them in this box. I don't take them out of the box. But I had some backup Joy-Cons on deck because my son hit my Joy-Cons with the Hyper Fang. You know what I'm saying? Hit him with the Hyper Fang Rattata or Raticate. So, and I remember when I saw him, he just went, and he was like, ah. I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm taking care of these Joy-Cons, bruh. So yeah. I do wonder what Nintendo Switch 2 hardware true performance for handheld mode and dock mode when NVIDIA announce it soon. I don't think NVIDIA is going to say anything else in terms of the performance. They already talked about the performance or what they said in that press release, Sean. But right, with Nintendo losing its charm, it's not just about games. It's about games that are creative as ever, objectively. But when it comes to console presentation, UI, memorable figures, etc., we're going to get into that Obi-Wan place right after this jump first from Cyber Taurus. Let's go.
I will be there on Thursday, all day, with bells on. Also, can I get the Gerudo Valley remix from Smash Ultimate?
Okay. Shoutouts, we can get that. So you're saying, shoutouts to Cyber Taurus with the big footnotes. You have the Hokage and Stream Ninja. Cyber Taurus, I cannot wait to have you here, man. You have been incredible. Well, you're gonna be there on but like I cannot wait for the overall thing. It's just gonna be so much fun. We actually have someone that wants to debate this Shuhei Yoshida thing, so we're gonna debate it. And I'm gonna, no offense, but I'm gonna completely body you here, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, Cyber Taurus, if you don't mind, this guy, my man Obi-Wan, is gonna get completely bodied here on this discussion because I've heard people say this. So we're gonna talk about that. Oh, we're gonna talk about it. So let me get this music first. And big love to Cyber Taurus. I appreciate the big dono. Let me get your music going here. It's not a console war that we're debating. We're debating if Nintendo lost their identity with the Switch 2. So we're gonna debate that right now. I'm glad that somebody's actually bringing up maybe some things that are even somewhat like, okay, maybe you can say that, right? Maybe you can say that. I think this is a good effort from Mr. Obi-Wan Plays. Okay, this is a good effort. Very good effort from Mr. Obi-Wan Plays. But it will not be enough. Okay, so let me read what you say. He's right about Nintendo losing its charm. He said they lost he said they're losing their identity. He didn't say charm. He said identity. I guess you can say charm and identity, same thing. It's not just about the games. It actually is mainly about the games. But regardless, it's about the games that are creative as ever objectively. The games are as creative ever objectively, but when it comes to the console presentation, UI, memorable figures, etc. Okay, so first thing says memorable UI. UI has never been anything that's been in terms of what makes Nintendo Nintendo. The UI has never been known for that. They've never been known to even have a good UI. They've just had themes on one system, which was the Nintendo 3DS. On the Wii, there was no themes, there was barely anything, and the UI was just a white screen with TVs in there. So it's not like their UI's ever been part of what makes Nintendo Nintendo anyway. It's just been a white UI. So that's irrelevant in terms of what makes Nintendo Nintendo. The years that they even had themes or UI or whatever the case was doesn't even come into comparison to the many years that Nintendo's been around. Nintendo's history doesn't start with the Wii and the Wii U and the 3DS. So that's the first thing, okay? So their charm doesn't start from there. Their charm started back in the NES days. So the Nintendo Switch is a collaboration of everything that they've done so far. It's not just the Wii and the Wii U. It's also the Game Boy. It's also the Game Boy Color. It's the NES. It's the Super NES. It's the N64. It's everything that they've done. So you have to factor in everything that they've done. So UI or anything like that has nothing to do with Nintendo in terms of what they always felt was important, which is the game. So the games, you're not giving enough credit in terms of the games. That is very, 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 very important overall. Now, in terms of losing their identity has always been being able to, hey, we want to provide you great experiences with these classic games. And with the Nintendo Switch, now they have it to where you can play it anywhere. But they've always had the identity of being able to play games anywhere from the beginning. From the NES with the Game Boy, even from Game & Watch. So that is still there. Them having the ability to play games anywhere that you want, that supersedes whatever UI or things that you're talking about. That's been at the nucleus of Nintendo creating stuff since the Game & Watch days, like what, in the 70s? Or when was Game & Watch? I forgot exactly when. But from the Game & Watch days, even back then, the Game Boy days on the NES. And that had a little ghetto screen with no UI or anything, and that's more Nintendo than anything that you can talk about. So to sit there and say because of UI, menus, and themes, once again, you're cutting Nintendo's history into the Wii, Wii U, and 3DS. That would be a stupid thing to do. The Switch is not a combination of just those systems. The Switch is a combination of everything. What was important in the GameCube days, or what was important in the Game Boy days? It definitely was not UI, themes, and menus. It was the game experience. It was getting into your game as fast as possible, as quick as possible. So that doesn't make Nintendo lose their charm because you don't like the UI. That just means that you don't like the UI. So if you played the Game Boy, would you not like that? Or if you played the Game Boy Advance, would you not like that? It doesn't have any menu or themes or anything. So sitting here trying to equate it to that is silly. And once again, everybody that's doing that is simply talking about Wii, Wii U, or 3DS. Nintendo systems are more than that. We're going all the way back to the NES from Nintendo themselves. The Nintendo Switch is from, they looked at it from the NES and incorporated everything. If you only take those systems, sure, but then again, that's not what made Nintendo Nintendo. Themes are not what make the 3DS, or what it was, or how good it was, or anything. It was the games, it was being able to play anywhere that you want, it was the unique experiences that you get when it comes to the system features. That's what it was. Themes, menus, and UIs has been something that Nintendo's never been great at those. They've never had them before. The Wii wasn't great, the Wii U wasn't great, the 3DS was okay, but none of it's ever been great. So I don't know why you're bringing that up as that's some type of linchpin of what makes Nintendo Nintendo. Microsoft and Sony has been destroying Nintendo on themes and UIs and fonts for forever. That's not why people bought Nintendo systems. So what are you talking about here, Obi? Give me a better retort than themes, UIs, and menus. Let's go. And I said I was about to destroy your point, but that's a destruction of your point. Because once again, Nintendo has always been about it. Has always been about the experience of just playing the games, just getting right into your game. The NES had no UI or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You just load in the game and it works. And that's some of their best-selling systems have nothing to do with that, right? The Wii, obviously the NES, Super Nintendo. That's where they pull from overall when it comes to the Switch. Get into your game, play it. So if you got something else to bring to the table, let me know. Good attempt. Good attempt. But remember, the Nintendo Switch is not a combination of the Wii, the Wii U, and 3DS. It's a combination of everything that they've done. Hybrid nature, home console, everything that they've kind of put into it, you know? So yeah. Bro, OJ, the stock account pretendos be Obi-Wan. Gotta be duped, OJ. He's came here before, so it's not actually Obi-Wan plays. He's came here before, though. Obi-Wan would also never say that, so I know that it's not him. Nintendo just found out smartphones exist. Okay. But it's not really Obi-Wan. Let's see. Warning. May randomly start talking about quirky menus. Yeah, Nintendo's been bad at menus and been bad at themes for a long time. I mean, the 3DS was the only system that actually even had real themes. Outside of that, they've never done them, and they've never done them really well. I mean, you might like the UI for the Wii, but it was essentially just a little UI where you pick, there's TVs on the screen. It wasn't anything crazy or nothing like that. The Wii U there was the wild Wada Plaza. You can see some different stuff, but the actual menu where you pick your games was just, you know, the same thing as the Wii, but higher resolution, you know? So they've never been incredible with their themes or their menus. I mean, the 3DS had themes to where you can actually change out, and they had a theme shop. That was one system in Nintendo's, they've been creating systems for decades. That was one system, and you're trying to pin their charm or their identity on themes. That's insane. That just shows me that you grew up with the Wii and the 3DS. It shows me that you don't know about their history. So yeah. Let's see here. Nintendo's Duck Hunt, Mario Bros, Mario Kart, pick smile, blah 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 blah. Yep. Loving the stream, OJ. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Derek. I appreciate that. Obi, you got something else for me, brother? I'm glad that you actually brought something up like that, though. You got something else for me? Shoutouts to Cruzy with the $5 as well. Says, what's the biggest banger you think Nintendo will have this generation? The system seller must play besides Mario Kart, Breath of the Wild last gen for me. The biggest banger, system seller. It's probably, if we're looking at it from a actual global scale, it's probably gonna be Animal Crossing or Smash Brothers. It's probably gonna be one of those two games. I mean, Pokemon to a degree. I mean, Pokemon in actual like reality, more people will probably buy a Switch 2 for Pokemon than anything. But if we're excluding Pokemon, I'd probably say, yeah, Animal Crossing or Smash Brothers. One of those two. Hey, what's up, V? Welcome. Can't wait to get my Switch 2. Please bring back PE Arena. Yes, I will be bringing back like those are the bonus streams. I owe you guys 1 million bonus streams, so we'll be bringing those back. Absolutely. Let's see here. I banned the account. I banned the account. Inappropriate avatar, same style as the clown before. Oh, okay, got you. No problem. At least we were able to body him before he got banned. It's all good. And once again, it provides good discussion because these, by the way, guys, these same arguments that people are bringing up, they get brought up on Twitter and they'll get like 1,000 likes. If you say the same stupid stuff that people say on Twitter or that people have said here, if you say it on Twitter, you'll get 1,000 people liking your comment. You'll get all these likes. But if you do it in an actual real discussion or debate, it becomes mush. It becomes silly. So yeah, it's basically people from Twitter, essentially the Twitter arguments. Yeah, Rex and Obi-Wan Plays had the exact same comment. You read on Shuhei. Okay, yeah. So like I said, he didn't even wait for the next day. He just made. But then that Obi-Wan Plays guy, he's been here before, so that means Rex was his alter ego. So he came here with his alter ego first. He came here preemptively, and then hoping maybe his second account wouldn't get banned. That's crazy. Hey, what's up, Shy Guy News? Welcome. Yoshida's probably just projecting. I mean, he might be projecting. considering Sony's changed their forte a million times. But, you know, then again, it's his opinion. Shout outs to Cyber Taurus with the big 40. My man's out here. We out here doing big things once again. Big love to Cyber Taurus. 161 plus the 5 on there. 166. We are out here going with the combo breaker. And even further beyond. Hey, shout out to Cyber Taurus. Big love, man. Appreciate you. Let's go. I'm tired of defending Switch 2 online. Luckily, some infamous forum is down right now. I don't even really defend it too much. I just talk on Twitter every now and then if I see something silly. But I'm no longer going to be going back and forth with certain people that I know on Twitter that I follow or not. I'm no longer going to be going back and forth with them because there's no point, because they've so yeah. So yeah. It's all good. It is all good. So can we play some academic? Oh yes, from Metaphor. I've been longing for some Metaphor music. Metaphor. I've been longing for some music from this game. Oh man, I love Metaphor ReFantazio. I love the game so much. I love it so much. It's such a great game. Such a great game. I miss it. I miss the Prince. I miss everybody. I miss all of them. Miss Gallica. I even miss her. I miss this game. I really hope that there's a special edition on Switch 2 that's like lit. I really hope that there is a special edition that's like lit on Switch 2 and like we get extra content and like they re-release the game or whatever. I really hope that they do, man. I really miss that game. Although I'm getting my like litness factor with Xenoblade Chronicles X. Like Xenoblade X is really good. So I don't feel like as bad as I did before. But I was in a slump from Metaphor to Xenoblade X. I was in a huge slump. Yeah, it was my game of the year. Metaphor ReFantazio was my game. I think that was the true game of the year. The actual, if people were being real with themselves, the real game of the year last year was Metaphor ReFantazio. If they actually decided to play it. I mean, a lot of the reviewers didn't want to play the game, you know. They refused to play it. A lot of them outsourced their review too, for those who don't know. They outsourced, or they gave it to the RPG guy. They didn't play the game themselves. But if people actually gave it a chance, it was the best game of the year. It was the best game. It's really good. Such a great game. Music in this game. Ugh. The first time I went to Moore's place, I just sat there. Because I didn't listen to all the music before the game came out or anything like that. I just sat there in awe of the track of Moore's theme. I just sat there and I was just listening and I was just like, this is incredible. Like, this is one of the most majestic, most calming, best save room music that I've ever heard in my life. Like, it's right up there with like Resident Evil 4 save theme. It's right up there with some of the best like safe themes, you know? Or like upgrade rooms, like any room that you can upgrade or you can improve your stats, or there's like somebody that's like stuck in a room, like they're like your guide. Like, we've had some good ones. Persona, like the Velvet Room. Oh, the Velvet Room is awesome. I love the music from Velvet Room. But like, I think this surpassed Velvet Room. I think it surpassed it. Let's see here. No, Astrobot, no, taking nothing away from Astrobot. Astrobot is a fantastic game. It really is a great game. But the real game of the year last year was Metaphor ReFantazio on the PlayStation 5. On the PlayStation 5. Or, I mean, I guess if you have a PC. Or it's on Xbox, whatever. Wherever you decided to buy it on. Not on Steam Deck, though. The real game of the year was Metaphor ReFantazio. I played it on PS5. Base PS5. That was the real game of the year, in my opinion. In my humblest of opinions, which obviously can be wrong for some people. But I think this was the game of the year. Cybertoast with the $5.
I had that same feeling.
Yeah.
In the police station in Astral Chain.
Mm.
That music hit me and I love to listen to it. In fact, can we roll that track next?
Yes, we can. That's the Neuron Network, right? Yeah, we can run Neuron Network next. Even like the last like you guys like no spoilers, but do you guys remember the final boss theme and Metaphor? Oh my god, was that not just freaking majestic, freaking like incredible? Was that not just incredible? Like some of the best music ever? So good. So good. Shout out to Cybertaurus. 45 on the board. Let's go, man. Thank you so much for the support. Cybertaurus with the big support. Roundtable Ninjas, rise. What people really upset about? The console price is right for the specs. Mario Kart $50 bundle. What do they cry about? They're upset about the $80 Mario Kart separately. That's what they're upset about. The real game of the year winner was Balatro, the orchestral theme. I'm talking my sweet time with Metaphor. Finished the prologue demo and this weekend popped into my game yesterday first time. Okay, yeah, enjoy it. I put 100 and I forgot exactly. You guys can watch my review, but I put like 120 hours or something into it. I love that game. I love that game. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so good. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, Pierre Escargo. Hey, what up, Automaster? Welcome to the stream, brother. How you doing today? Shoutouts. Shoutouts. Time to get that $500 bundle and you get a $50 game. Yeah, I put about 120 hours into Metaphor, but I played it on the hard difficulty and I did most if not all the side quests in the game. So I was like completionist with that game. I didn't get all the achievements or trophies because I don't care. But I did most of the content. I did most of it. And it was fantastic. It was every step. I was so excited. You know? Derek Rosado, thank you for the subscription, man. I appreciate that. Better than Rebirth music? Yes. Rebirth's music's really good though. I'm not even gonna front and sit there and say like Metaphor ReFantazio's music is like way better than Rebirth. It's not. Or even if you want to say Rebirth music is better, I understand. I get that. Rebirth has a goated soundtrack. Final Fantasy music's very good. Me personally though, I like Metaphor's music because they somehow took themes that I don't like. Like I don't like kingly themes, like themes that are like kind of like the you know, like Dragon Quest is kind of like kings and stuff like that. I don't like that music. I'm not a fan of like trumpets and you know, like playing like when I'm like I don't like music like that. Metaphor takes like kingly themes and like because it's about that. It's about princes and kings and queens and castles and stuff like that, right? And like you know whatever. I don't like that type of music in games, and they somehow took that type of music and made it lit. I think the degree of difficulty, which is why I think that there's not as many, but even some of the stuff like they have one of the most unique. Like you guys know, ever been to like a jungle? In video games, all jungles have like that type of like, you know, like primal type of theme to it. Listen to Metaphor ReFantazio's jungle, or like that not jungle, but it's like that one. I forgot what it's Et Rita or whatever the name is. Listen to the music in that place, like the little, like the little kind of like vibe that they put to it. It's like I've never heard anything like it. It's literally like one of a kind. Like they have these weird spins on music. Of music that I traditionally, I'm just kind of like, I don't really like that much, like jungle music or like kings or castle music and stuff like that. And they just make it way better. Like, I don't know how they do it, but they did it and they cooked. They absolutely cooked, you know? So I think that the degree of difficulty for Metaphor was high. For me to like it was high compared to Final Fantasy music. It's always lit. It's always good. Rebirth's music is incredible, but you know what you're getting. You're getting the Final Fantasy slick, you know, classic, you know, Final Fantasy just redone. You know what you're getting with that, right? So yeah. Shout out to Duo Brele. Oh no, is it Duo Blu-ray? Something like that. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Duo. Thank you for the tune in tier pledge. Let's go. We are very close to a double platinum tonight. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, 28 away from a double platinum. Let's go. Shout outs, man. Thank you so much for the support. The only reason Mario Kart is 80 is because the bundle's available for 50. We still don't know if any Switch 2 exclusive will be 80. I think they can get 80 for Mario Kart because it's Mario Kart. It's a massive game. It's huge, so they're going to get 80 for that. But, like, games that are not like that are probably not going to be that. So, I don't think, like, you know, Kirby Air Riders is going to be 80, you know? Just like DK Bonanza is not. That's a fair take. I got to beat Metaphor, but I enjoy what I played. Absolutely love the Rebirth's music. Yeah, Rebirth's music, if you think it's better, that's fine. I don't actually have any objections to that. I have no real objections. I just love Metaphor. Metaphor is just super swaggy. I mean, so is Rebirth, but I just kind of fell out with Rebirth. And not so much with Metaphor. Metaphor, I thought it was really good, you know? So yeah, it's great. It's great. Both really good games, though. Both really, really, really good games. So yeah. Do you agree with Yongei's take? I don't watch Yongei's videos. I don't know his take. Mario Kart, Smash, Zelda gonna be 80, shocker. Yeah, I think Smash Brothers. I think Mario Kart. Yeah, obviously the big heavy hitters are gonna be 80 probably. If Mario Kart works out at 80, and if nobody buys it and it doesn't work out at 80, then no. But yeah, we'll see. I'm waiting for Big Pokemon Gen 10 to be $80 controversy. Oh, that's definitely going to be a controversy. But then again, will they do 80 for both, so 160 for two of them? I don't know. I think they might just roll with the 70. But we'll see. Do you think 90 is a real bad value for Breath of the Wild on Switch 2, considering it has the DLC? Well, you've gotten a number of things wrong. Overall, a number of things wrong. One, you don't have to buy the game for 90. You don't have to get the Nintendo Switch 2. So first things first, you're getting your information from websites that are writing that. You should get your information from me, because I will give you the right information. So Matt, first thing, stop listening to websites telling you that you have to buy it for 90. That's the first thing. What you got to do is just, do you have the Switch 1 game? Do you already have it? Answer that question first. If you don't already have it, you don't have to buy it for 90. You simply just buy a used copy, buy a regular copy, and then upgrade from there, and it won't be anywhere near 90. So you don't have to do all that. And one, you don't need the expansion pass if you don't want the expansion pass. So I would say if you already have the game, it's not 90. The game sold 30 million copies, so I'm guessing you already have it, right? Let's see here. But if you already have the game, if you already have it, then it's not 90. So I need you, of course I have it. Then it's not 90. Then what are you worried about? It's not 90 at all for you. So yeah, it's not 90. And if you already have it, you just got to upgrade it. The upgrade's $10. If you have NSO plus expansion pack, the upgrade is no additional cost. So it's not 90 for you. Would it be bad if you skip Breath of the Wild and play Tears? The stories aren't really, they try to connect them, but they don't do the best job of connecting them. So it doesn't really matter if you skip Breath of the Wild and just go straight to Tears. They're both really good. At 60 frames per second, they're both incredible games. The main problem with Breath of the Wild was, for me at least, was the frame rate in some places. Outside of that, I mean, there's some other things like you can talk about story, whatever. But gameplay wise, there's also some dips in frame rate. But now that they fixed that, plus like the Korok seed stuff. But now all that's included, like you got a Korok seed tracker, you got voice navigation for those Korok seeds, you got all sorts of stuff. They have a bunch of quality of life features built in, so frame rate resolution's good. So yeah, you can either one. You're gonna have a blast with either one. If you start with Tears of the Kingdom, that's fine. If you skip Breath of the Wild and just go straight to Tears, that's fine too. But I mean, they're both really good, and there's no other game, there's no other open world action RPG or action adventure game on the market that's like it. So I think you'll have fun regardless. I'm gonna go back and play Breath of the Wild first, and then I'll play Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah. If you can't get into Breath of the Wild, chances are you probably won't get into Tears of the Kingdom. So if you don't, I mean, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, there are differences. I mean, the master hand, right? Like the Sheikah arm thingy or whatever, or the Zonai arm. There's some differences, but if you don't like Breath of the Wild, I mean, chances of you liking Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, there are some people that don't like Tears of the Kingdom but like Breath of the Wild and vice versa. But I mean, they're similar. They have some similarities. Clearly. So yeah, Matt, of course, if you have it, you don't gotta, it's not $90 for you. That's just YouTubers and content creators. Let's see here. It says Young Game Moist Criddle just rage farming. That's all. Their takes their trash. Yeah. It's not $90 for most of us that have the game, and they probably already have the game too. Or you can just like simply just buy the game used, or buy the game. Even if you buy the game new, you can buy the game new for like $40, $50. It's not 90, you know. But I still agree that the DLC should have been included in the Switch 2 version of the game, like the expansion pass. I still agree about that, but it's not 90. Guys, I don't know about the prices for the games, guys. When they announce the games, then we'll get the prices. So when people say 70 or 80, or just wait, they'll announce them when they announce them. So yeah. I think it's possible, Vito, that they announced that, like some type of voucher system. It's possible. Especially the frame rate during the flurry rush in Breath of the Wild kind of felt like slow compared to Tears of the Kingdom. I don't remember in terms of the flurry rushes from Breath. I know they were similar, but I guess Tears of the Kingdom was different. Either way, Tears of the Kingdom does have a lot of different things. You have the depths, you have the sky planets, the sky islands. You have obviously the Master Hand. You have all sorts of different stuff. Like the puzzles are different, the shrines are better in Tears. Like they're more creative. The pacing and flow is probably a little bit better. Like Tears of the Kingdom mechanically is a better game. So you might enjoy that one more. It just depends. But there's a lot of people that are split. Let's say I honestly don't think 90 is a bad price for those who don't have it. Once again, it's not even 90 for those who don't have it. If you don't have it, you can simply buy the game used, or you can buy the game and then you can just upgrade from there, and it won't be 90. The game's like runs like $30 loose, so you can just buy the game for 30, and then you can just upgrade it from there. So even then, it won't be 90 for you. Even then, it'd be 60. If you get it for 30 or you get it for 40, it'd be 70. So even then, it's not 90. If you want to buy the Switch 2 cartridge, then yeah, sure, it'll be 90 for those people. And you don't have the expansion, it'll be 90 for them. But anybody that actually wants to not get it for 90, you don't have to. But if you want to, sure. If you want to pay more money, you can. If you want to pay less, you can also. There's ways. Expect the used price to increase though. Well, it hasn't increased now, and the game's already announced. So I don't know. There's 30 million copies out there. So usually with that many copies, used prices are going to be pretty consistent. Or actually, let's see here. Breath of the Wild. All right. So yeah, you can get it. You can get it loose. I'm seeing it here. 40, 50, 30. You know, just various different prices depending on where you live in the world. Used copies, or yeah, I'm seeing 30. I'm seeing 40. I'm seeing 50 brand new. So yeah. Is all the content worth that? You're gonna get 100 plus hours out of all the content. You're gonna get 100 plus hours. So it's up to you. The game's old though, so people think since the game is old, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to spend that much for it. So I guess it all depends. I don't know. What's that game? Forza Horizon. That's a 5-year-old game now. They're charging $100 for everything in the game on PS5. So Breath of the Wild is older though. It's what, 3 years older. So therefore, it should be cheaper, right? But I think people thought it should be cheaper even after 5 years. And it should be. If you can get it cheaper, get it cheaper. It's all good, right? But yeah. That is so stupid with the Forza prices. It is what it is, man. You want Forza on PS5? $60 for the standard edition, $80 for the upgraded edition, $100 for the ultimate edition with everything in the game. And that game's going on 5 years old. So yeah. Yes, Nick93 at 60 frames. You not watching any of the vids? You ain't watching none of the vids, fam? That's already been. You didn't see the direct? You didn't see the frame rate? I think it was very apparent that it was in 60 as soon as you watched that trailer. Unless you were watching, I don't know, unless your PC was running at 30 frames. I think it was very apparent that it was in 60. Everything looked like it was moving like smoothly. It was very easy to see that. Like, I'm not a fanboy. Now I was working, but you didn't see none of the trailers or nothing. You didn't see any of the game at all. You didn't see nothing since then. I highly recommend. Oh man, it's connecting to my Switch. I highly recommend checking out the trailer, the Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the. Look, you know what, Nick, you the homie. I'ma do it for you. Don't worry. We'll watch it right here. Let's watch it. Nintendo Switch 2. Put your devices to 60 frames. Nintendo Switch 2 edition Zelda game. So put it. We'll watch it right now. We'll watch the whole thing. We'll see everything that you get. If you're confused, this was the stream to watch. We're gonna watch it at 1440p 60 frames. Although Nintendo does, I think they're running it at 4K. Or they're running it at 4K. They got a 4K feed on this, so maybe it upscales, but I think the native resolution is 1440p. But maybe there is a upscaler to 4K. But Nintendo's running it at 4K on their page. But we're going to run it at 1440p, which is the proposed resolution. So give me a second. No problem, Nick. I got you, fam. I got you. You're an elite ninja. All right, let's do this. We're going to watch it right here. Enjoy. Check this out.
Upgrade your adventures in Hyrule on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom games will both have Nintendo Switch 2 editions.
This is the long edition, guys. This is the 7-minute one.
Jump back into the adventure, now with enhanced resolution and frame rate.
Not the short version that they played during the Direct.
They both support
Look at that.
HDR, which makes the image more vibrant.
Can you not...
Smoother, higher definition graphics.
Can you not tell that's at just look at that. If you've played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, you know it's right there is when that 60 frames hit you. That was when the 60 right here it's like, okay.
They both
right here.
HDR.
This area ran like absolute trash on the Switch 1. This is when you realize, okay, it's running at 60 because you guys all know how the forest is. This forest is crusty on Switch 1. It can't run in, it can't keep a consistent 30 frames because of all the vegetation and the grass and the trees and all the little Korok dudes running around. It just can't hold 60 frames or it can't hold 30. But now
they both support HDR.
It's
which
way
makes
smoother.
The image more vibrant, and they have smoother, higher definition graphics.
There might be some dips though, but I haven't seen any.
Plus, the load times when warping are much faster, helping you explore Hyrule with ease.
Well, they doubled the frame rate, so it's a night and day difference. Look how much faster that loading is. The loading in Breath of the Wild is too long.
Nintendo Switch games, your save data can be carried over. On top of that, you can now create 2 manual save data files, so feel free to start a new game without worrying about losing your old data.
I don't know why that was even a thing in the first place.
And introducing Zelda Notes.
I don't know.
A feature that can help you get even more out of your adventures in Hyrule.
Why was that a thing in the first place?
It's a game-specific service found in the Nintendo Switch app on smart devices that's exclusive to the Switch 2 editions of these games.
2027.
It's designed to provide a more streamlined gameplay experience.
2027 for the next Zelda game.
Let's go over some of the new features you'll find in Zelda Notes. Sometimes, it can be tough to locate shrines you haven't cleared or Koroks hiding around Hyrule. That's where navigation comes in handy.
Guidance activating. Proceed north.
It'll provide a helpful, voiced guide.
Your destination is north of here and close.
Shoutouts, Kevin,
Your destination is above.
with the $5
I'm
dono.
wondering if we will get the 3D Castlevania Remaster Collection. Can I get any music from Mass Effect?
Yeah, I'll get the music after we're done playing through this. Yeah. Wondering if we get any 3D Castlevania Remaster Collection. 3D Castlevania, I think it's possible. Yeah. Maybe the PS2, the Lament of Innocence, Curse of Darkness, like those games. Yeah, I think it's possible.
Your
Yeah,
destination is nearby.
the game looks great.
You have reached your destination. Guidance deactivating.
Give it a try as you search for all sorts of things. When you visit certain places, you can hear voice memories.
My study. I found a silent princess in a corner of this desolate room. How many years?
These are stories that weren't in the original games. Voice memories can be located using navigation.
Your destination is nearby.
The dueling peaks. I shudder to think of what would have happened if Link hadn't led everyone here.
Man, it looks good, bruh.
Plus, in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, you won't just hear stories from Princess Zelda.
This altar is considered the most holy place in the temple.
You can look forward to hearing stories from 2 other characters as well.
Is this the afterlife?
Master Koga? I missed that part.
In The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, you can freely create your own vehicles and weapons. But have you ever wanted to share your creations?
Not mine. Mine were trash.
With auto build sharing, you can create QR codes to share blueprints with others, even on social media.
I'm gonna be downloading other people's. This is what I wanted. I wanted a way to download people's crazy contraptions so I can use them in my game. I was always saying, man, look at all this cool stuff. I suck at building. I am not good. I know how to build, but I am not good at building. Now this is gonna be a renaissance for this game. You're gonna see people sharing all of the craziest, wildest things that they want to share finally, instead of just looking at it in YouTube videos. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
When receiving a QR code, you can scan it with Zelda Notes and use materials to auto-build the creation in your game. Another thing you can do with QR codes is gift in-game items to other players.
Pick a piece of meat and a sword.
For example, when gifting a sword or some meat, you can create a QR code. Then another player can receive it in their game via Zelda Notes.
I don't want any meat from... let me just say something right now. You guys better not give me any meat at all. I want 0 meat from anybody here. I'm just putting that out there right now. I'll take weapons. I'll take cash. I'll take lots of stuff. But I refuse to take any type of meat from anybody here. So just, I better not be getting QR codes from you jabronis out here sending me meat. Okay? Let me just put that out there. All right?
With Photo Studio, you can edit photos taken in-game. By sending your pics to Zelda Notes, you can crop them and decorate them with stamps.
I might use that a little bit.
Or add a QR code to share your creations.
I like the creation, like the QR code stuff is good.
My Play Data keeps track of different records since your adventures began, such as the number of enemies you've defeated. You can even earn in-app medals based on your records. Aim for new medals and goals, like total distance traveled or rupees collected.
I will probably not care about that.
With global play data, you can see where your records rank within the global community.
Man, got leaderboards? Zelda leaderboards?
On top of comparing your data with other players around the world, you can also see your gameplay trends. Once per day, you can spin for a daily bonus. You'll be granted whichever in-game effect it lands on for the day, so give it a try. Good luck.
There's a recovery of items too for the day. But it's random.
Compatible amiibo accessories can be used to receive in-game items. Zelda Notes keeps track of each amiibo you scan. When you scan an amiibo 5 times, you'll get an additional bonus use of that amiibo.
Yo.
You could normally only scan once per day.
Keep scanning them.
Upgrade your adventures in Hyrule on Nintendo Switch 2.
Dude, look at that! Importable. This is gonna be the port. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look, dude, come on. This is going to be so nice during NFL season. Although, I don't know if I'm still going to be playing them during the NFL season. I'll probably not beat both of them. But man, dude, like this is such a nice game just to have at launch. And if you have NSO and you already have the physical copy of the game, you literally, there is no additional cost. You can just pop in your game, you can just download it, and you can just start playing. You don't even need Mario Kart. You don't need Mario Kart. You don't need to get anything else. If you just have a Switch and maybe you don't have, like, you can just pop in your copy of Tears of the Kingdom and just start. Like, this is such a great thing to get at launch, man. This is such a, I don't, like, listen, it's sold a lot already, and I get it, they're redoing it, but this is literally the main problems, well, not the main problems, but one of the big problems with the game, which I noted in my review of the game. The game is awesome. I love Tears of the Kingdom. I love Breath of the Wild. They're great 10 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10 experiences. They're fantastic. But if you had to fix something, the frame rate and the resolution were probably the two things. They were good for a Switch game, but now we actually have it in this. It's incredible, man. It's really incredible.
Your adventures in Hyrule on Nintendo Switch 2. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 editions.
Launch day.
If you already own the Switch games, you can upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 editions by purchasing upgrade packs. Or access the upgrade packs at no additional cost with a paid Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack membership. Plus, these new amiibo figures will also be available.
Nope.
If you scan them in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, you might receive a paraglider fabric.
Might. I never collected everything in Tears of the Kingdom because I just got so tired of actually collecting all the things in Tears of the Kingdom. I got so tired of it, and it was just annoying. So I just stopped. I remember one time I was like, all right, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to collect. It was just too annoying. Using like the freaking Sheikah tower scanner, that thing's annoying. It beeps. Sometimes it beeps barely. Sometimes it's beeping. Who's beeper keep beeping and beeping, MC Hammer style. Super Bowl commercial. Who's beeper keep beeping and beeping. I just got tired of it, man. I'm like, I can't do this. I already put 100. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I just didn't feel like doing it anymore, so I couldn't. But yeah, it was awesome. Awesome stuff. Did you get an extra sensor? Didn't you get the? I did get the extra sensor, but I don't like it. I'm not a censor me not. I didn't like it, man. I personally don't think I think Tears of the Kingdom is awesome. It was incredible to me, but I get why some people thought it was disappointing for them. I put 130 hours into Tears of the Kingdom. I forgot how many hours I put, but I know I put 100 plus. It was great. I thought it was fantastic. Now it's even going to get better. So, all right, Mass Effect. We're going to do Mass Effect Duocide Run. This is my favorite track from Mass Effect. Mass Effect 2 still goated. For those who have not played Mass Effect, play Mass Effect. YouTube is hilarious, bro. YouTube is... It's not a funny matter, but the fact that YouTube thinks that it's actually, people think it's like End Life and like they put the thing on there that is just interesting for YouTube. Oh my! And it also puts a disclaimer: the following content may contain duocide or self-harm. No, dude, no, it's not. It's the name of the mission in the game. It's the name of the mission in the game. Oh my goodness. Anyway. So, for those who don't know, if you don't know about Mass Effect, so just to give you guys a little bit of background, there's a mission towards the end where it's framed that the whole game is framed that you're going on this mission and you're not coming back. Anybody that's went through this one relay has never made it back. So the whole game, it was framed as, this is a mission that you're not coming back from, but it must be done to save the universe, you know? So that's the reason why it's called, Duocide Run. It's called Duocide Run because, you're not supposed to come back. But you go there, you take care of business, and you You finish it for humanity and the galaxy's sake, all races' sake. So that's the reason why it's called that. And you know what? Theoretically speaking, depending on how stupid you are or not, how you play the game, it can definitely be that. If you're trash. So let me give you guys, I played this game when I was in college. Shout outs to Nick93 with the $1.99. Says day one pickup for me, 60 frames. It looks sharper. Yes. Frame rate, resolution better. I played Kevin. Shout outs to Kevin with the $5 donut. Shout outs to Nick93 with the $1.99. Appreciate you guys, man. Let's go. I played this game when I was in college, right? And the amount of people complaining that everyone died, that's not fair, they killed my love interest.
Oh man, I really want the Mass Effect Legendary Edition to come to Switch too. I love that trilogy.
Yeah, it's very good. The amount of people, shout outs to my man Cyber Taurus with another $5 dono. The amount of people complaining that they got bodied because they suck was hilarious online. It was so funny. Oh! Oh! All I did was put Tali over here and she died and we had relations. Wah! All I did was put Jack as the platoon leader and she died. Wah! I'm just crying. I'm like, oh, you guys are a bunch of frauds. Scrubs. You gotta pay attention. Then you know why all your people getting waxed. You don't know your people. You have natural leaders. You can't put someone like Jack. She's not a freaking leader. You can't put Jack as a platoon leader. She's not a leader. She's more of a... She's just a dupe. Kill everything. You gotta put someone that's known to lead. You gotta put Miranda. Or you gotta put, Jacob. Or you gotta put somebody that's actually a platoon leader. You can't put somebody that doesn't know how to lead, or like Garrus, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people were just making bad decisions. Like, I saw one guy back in the day complain that you needed somebody that knows how to do tech. This dude literally put freaking Grunt. He put freaking Grunt, who's just a Krogan. He put Grunt as a tech. And the person couldn't figure out the tech and he died. And he's like, what? That's not fair. Grunt was born in a tank. I'm like, oh Lord, have these Mass Effect forums. I used to be on Mass Effect forums. I'm like, these people are dumb as rocks. like dumb as rocks. They would put the worst people for the job. They wouldn't do loyalty missions. In order for someone, let me ask you a question. Let me ask all of you guys a question. If you were going on a mission with someone that, look, we're going in all in, we're probably gonna die. How hard would you fight if they didn't even fight for you when you needed something? If you knew it was gonna be over, you don't trust them, it's gonna affect your performance. If they were selfish and never helped you out in your time of need, you're not gonna trust them. You might be distracted. You never know what's gonna happen. You need to have a clear mind, body, and soul when you're in combat. You can't be distracted. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen. So in Mass Effect, you have loyalty missions. You had people not gaining the loyalty of their teammates, just leaving them, letting them and they would tell you, hey man, like, there's this problem, and you just be like, screw it, I don't care. You would just be a douchebag. And then, yeah, so when they go to fight at the end, they're distracted because they had this thing that was happening, and you never helped them. And it's already a duocide mission anyway. So whatever, who cares? We're not coming back anyway. Nobody's ever made it back. You know, like, so it's just crazy how many people were complaining about that back then because they don't know, they did not play the game or did not pay attention. Or even at one point, like, oh my God. Well, anyway, I don't want to get, no more spoiler territory. So let's see. It's like asking a knight to get involved with the cannon fight. Yeah. Seriously, man. It's crazy. Have I seen Angry Joe's rant on Mass Effect? No. This is crap. Now I want to play Mass Effect again. I know. I've been meaning to do a pure Shepherd run for you guys, but it just takes too long. There's just too many games and too many. There's 3 games and they're all like, the first game's like maybe 50 hours to 100, maybe 40, 50 hours to 100%. The second game's like maybe 60, 70, 60 hours, maybe. And like the third game's like 100 hours or something like that to do everything. So yeah, they take a long time. Ooh, Mass Effect has got Switch 2 all over. I really hope they bring it. Like, there's no reason why they couldn't bring Mass Effect to Switch 2. At this, it's got enough power, you know, because it was on the original. It ran at 1080p 60 frames per second on PS4. Base PS4. It runs great on base PS4. 60 frames with no drops. So, I see them bringing it over to the Switch 2. So, yeah. I'm sure Switch 2 can get Legendary Edition for $69.99. Yeah, if it's on cartridge for $69.99. If it's a full cartridge, like all the games on, I'll pay $70, like Cyberpunk, I'll pay $70. But there's no way, like, the file size for Mass Effect Legendary, it's massive. Mass Effect Legendary Edition file size, it's like 300 gigabytes. Oh no, never mind. I'm stupid. It's 68 gigabytes. It's possible. Never mind. It's definitely possible because like they can definitely shave 4 gigabytes off of that and make, or they have to probably shave around like 8 gigabytes off of that. 62 gigabytes. You need a little bit of space on the cartridge. You can't do the full 64. So yeah, it's close. Yeah, they can do it. Never mind. Yeah, it's 68 gigabyte, around 68. For some reason, it's 87 in Europe. But they say the base game from all three is 68 gigabytes. I think they can definitely shave some gigabytes off of that and get it on a cartridge. I think they could, but EA's not going to pay for that. There's no way EA's going to pay for that. There's no way. There's no way. So, yeah. How do you pre-order Switch 2 in Singapore? There's no Nintendo here. In Singapore, there's no Nintendo there. You'd have to definitely pre-order it from and import it. That would be my guess, and then have it ship it to the locus. So you have to look at the place that's most local to where you're at, Khabib, and then you have to pre-order and see if they ship to your area. So do you import? Where's like the closest place like where you get like imports from, right? So I would say where's find the closest store that can get you imports, like the closest big store, and then wait to see if they do that. Or you'd have to do it online, maybe like the UK. Does the UK ship to where you're at? So you'd have to pre-order it from like the UK. EA's just bums. They don't even show gameplay for their games in the direct. It's probably not ready to be shown. Alibaba? Okay. So then, yeah, maybe that's where you go through. Just make sure it's legit, you know, Khabib? I made the mistake with Switch 1. What mistake? Be careful, Japanese consoles, you have a wider channel Wi-Fi setup. Oh, you bought a Japanese console with Switch 1? I mean, it's region free, but yeah. Saturday Sluts is a major price shop in Canada. I'm getting Steam Deck. Just have a portable potato computer. Yeah, that's fine. You can get Steam Deck too. If you like Steam Deck, you can get Steam Deck. Nobody's telling that you can't. Enjoy. I'm not gonna go psycho like weirdos, like other weirdos. If you want that, get it. Have fun. Have at it. I'll be enjoying not playing Steam Deck. I couldn't sell that itch fast enough, bro. How about it, man? Have fun. Oh man. But no, Steam Deck's great, dude. It's great. It's got trackpads. It's got, you know, it's got Steam. It's got great stuff on there, man. It's good. It's a good device. So yeah, man. Yeah, have at it. Hack it. Have at it. Have fun. Let's see here. Let's see. Nah, man, I'm telling you, dude, when the Switch 2 launches, there's gonna be so much hype. There's hype right now, and really it's just a lot of people that didn't care, that don't like Nintendo in the first place. That's what I realized today. For those who missed my earlier rant, my early discussion, I got into a conversation with people talking about the price, and value. And really, ultimately, it comes down to people just not. I mean, no, there's legitimate, like actual legitimate concerns. Like there's legitimate. Let me just make sure that I state that. But there are people that are not being legitimate with their situation, that they're just doing it because they don't like them. It's not because they actually have a problem or even were interested in playing the games. So there's a lot of fluff from people. So just keep that in mind. So keep that in mind. Oh man, dude. Yeah, no, but it's all good though. Like I said, we're not weird over here, man. You play whatever you want to play, get whatever you want to get. You want to get that, that's fine too. You know? So yeah. So yeah, it's all good. Yeah, there's other games that are not 90, but I mean, that's fine, man. There are games that are cheaper than that, but it's all good. Every game is at 90, so it's all good though, man. But it's all good, Damien. That's fine. Hell, why not just say every game? They're $150. Why not? Let's just make up prices for everything. You can just make up whatever you want. It's all good. Just make up prices. Let's just do that. It's $170 for the game. Reason why Switch 1 got hacked quickly is due to Nintendo not using custom chip. This allowed hackers to spec which public available. Won't happen with Switch 2. We'll see about that. I hope that's the case. I hope that is the case. So yeah. But it's all good though. It's not the real Khabib. It's not the real Khabib. Let me see real quick. Okay. Never mind. One thing I'm seeing, because the tariff Switch 2 was talked about in the huge in this huge news network. Yeah, it's getting more people to talk about it. Hopefully there's not a big tariff hit. In Europe, this was the smoothest console pre-order in a long time. I had paid my system the day the direct at a major retailer. Yeah, you guys in Europe are definitely lucky. It looks like things went pretty... Everybody that I saw online that wanted a Switch 2 pretty much got one. And like they sold out of pre-orders, but everybody that I know that is in Europe that wanted one got one. So, pretty cool. Excuse me. Excuse me. So yeah. Still waiting for pre-orders to go live in my region. Yeah. Welcome to it, man. Welcome to the family. So yeah. Nintendo picture as a manga and anime. We'll see. That's definitely like getting the Walmart versions, Damien. He said, Wario get Anton Blast, Animal Crossing get Cold Land. That's definitely the Walmart brand. But there's nothing wrong with Walmart. That's definitely great value, which there's nothing wrong with great value. It's fine, other than sometimes it might cause cancer, things like that. But I mean, outside of that, that's definitely that. That's definitely the great value brand. I'm good. Let's see here. Yeah, I got pre-order UK easily thanks to the Nintendo loyalty thing. Nice. Oh, so that Nintendo loyalty thing actually worked for you. Cool, cool. If you want a game, you'll pay more than 100. I paid 200 for Canadian for Civ 7. Dang, 200 Canadian for Civ 7. So yeah. Speak about Nintendo creating their own manga company and inviting a bunch of new authors. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do all that. I don't know if they're gonna go that far, but we'll see for sure. We will see. But I think we're going to wrap it up here, though, guys. I think we have went pretty much the distance. We're pretty much at the 3-hour mark. So I want to say thank you to everybody that came out to tonight's stream, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully the pre-orders can go down without a hitch, without a problem. Hopefully everything's good there with the pre-order situation. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think we should be okay. I think it will work out. If you have not seen my most recent video, check out my most recent video. I go over that and other big games that are coming to the system. So So I go over that and other big games that are coming to the system. So thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for being awesome. And shout outs to everybody that came through. Shout outs to everybody that came through to the stream. Seriously, you guys are incredible. Love you guys so much. We'll be back tomorrow. Actually, no. We're taking tomorrow off real quick. Big birthday stream on Thursday. We'll be back Thursday. Thursday, we'll be back for a big birthday stream on Thursday. So look out. Get ready for that, guys. Look out. Get ready for that big birthday stream on Thursday. Should be a ton of fun. A ton of fun. I cannot wait to go over this. It's going to be so good. So, big birthday stream Thursday. Mario Kart Direct in the morning. Mario Kart World Direct. So that's going to be lit as well. So much fun with Mario Kart Direct. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for being awesome. And we will see you guys on Thursday for the Mario Kart World live reaction. Tomorrow we'll have videos too. I'll have videos for you guys tomorrow as well. So there will be videos tomorrow. All right, guys. Love y'all so much. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out, homies.